perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The death counters are just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark pony, doing a little damage to the top.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm hypnotized. All the shit on my mind, feel like I'm in the vibes. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy, still I grind to get me on top, no ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
A huge play coming
with reality. This shit can be forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Just barely out there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the fan. What a save! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
There's a firefly locked on Gauss in the back line, but Servosi will suppress and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77, Nicolette keeps on moving. Marcus here.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit can be forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit can be forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of damage on the shark, but it looks like Team Sexy wants to forward a nice flicker kick, nice knock up, down goes Mara shooting the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing that Uzi getting demolished. I am booty. I think that was the best
and kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the feet. That's what it looks like. We'll see Ziggy though getting caught up. Omega gets a stun. In comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is going to go down. It's another kill there and do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage there. He does cover it from Syndicate.
Welcome to the NASL here. How's everybody doing today? We got Private and we got Frisky here. We're on day 6 or day 12, week 6, my bad. Everything's all discombobulated, but how you guys doing today?
I am doing great. I'm ready for another group of exciting matches with these unbelievable teams. Heck, all over the world in Mobile Legends competition now. There's been shocks happening. We saw Blacklist and MPL get 2-0'd, and I'm expecting to see some shock value here tonight as well with NA's finest. How you looking, Frisky?
Oh man, I'm super excited, especially after last week. We didn't get to get all of our games in that we wanted, and it's just like now we're back. We got everybody here. All the teams are here. All the teams are ready. I'm hoping we have some good fire off, like just fights here, and I'm ready to see what all these teams bring in today after this past week, honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. I am as well, and I definitely can't wait to see it. One big thing that we are going to be having today is normally our Sundays, we only have 2 games, 2 series, but now we're going to have 3. Because we did miss yesterday. So today we have Team First Blood versus Ethereal, Insomniacs versus the Valley, the Simpsons versus Ackerman to end it out. So crazy heavy hitters today. But without further ado, we're going to be jumping into these games. Right now, first off is Team First Blood versus Ethereal. And we're gonna now get into their drafts and picks here, Private.
Your team is banning.
Yeah, one big side note that I know that we've been hearing questions about. He is finally allowed Frederick, that crazy new tank character, and I'm wondering if people are going to be utilizing him. He's still kind of banned overseas as well, so I really haven't seen too much from him as far as professional play. Just in ranked play, I mean, he's got that tankiness, that sustainability, but is that lack of movement and mobility on him gonna be enough to kind of keep him out of the meta for a bit? I think we're gonna find out tonight.
Which I was made
Oh
for.
yeah, I've seen some really good plays with him, honestly, and I'm like I said, I wonder if he's going to get a first ban pick or if people are going to wait and see what he actually brings, because it's still very, like you said, untested waters when it comes to the pro players. And I wonder who's going to be the first to jump the gun, and if they're going to build him fully tank, if they're going to build him more fighter tank, if they're going to have him run in the jungle. He's a very versatile champion I've seen during rank, but it's going to come down to how they can play him.
I mean, I'm not sure if you guys, you were talking about Fred a lot here, but look at that Choban. Right out the box. Respect on Joy Bosch's name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just especially with how he's able to use the Cho to kind of dive into an entire team, isolate that one squishy player that he's looking for, either like the marksman or the mage, use the Way of the Dragon to kick them back at his own team. He's so precise with that. And then on the side of Team First Blood, we do see the mages getting banned out there. The diversity that you can get with a Valentina pick, the diversity, the damage, the sustain that she has, and then of course the setting potential from a Eve that you get with that real world manipulation alt.
Definitely.
I'm
seeing some, this is the stuff I really want to see nowadays, like they're banning out Faramis, Bulmon, Valentina, Julian still open, so we might see a Julian ban here. If not, I mean, TFB might be trying to take that Julian right out of the first spot here.
Yeah,
I feel like, go ahead.
No, I was saying, no, I was thinking the same thing, because like I said, if they're going to be able to pick that first, will they pick that and just throw that to someone, or are they going to leave that open in general, that Julian?
It depends on how lethal Team First Blood feels, or Ethereal feels like Team First Blood would be on that Julian. He's yet to really find like he's no, or at least he's no longer in that position of this dude's so powerful, we need to pick ban him first thing. And like you see, we have a Beatrix there, and I feel like a lot of our marksmans have kind of whittled down to those big priorities from the diversity of Beatrix or that late game tank shredding ability with Claude with the Demon Hunter sword. So interesting ban here. We're gonna go ahead and take away that Beatrix right off the bat, and there it is, Julian. And it looks like we're gonna probably be using him in the jungle.
Enters the scene.
Ooh, see Julian right out the bat, like I was possibly thinking here. And you know, like with all of, like Kai used to not, like he was at that phase where it was like, are they gonna really use him, are they not? But I feel like Akai's now fell right back into the meta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just agreeing. No, he has.
I feel like there was a little bit when he was just used so often that everybody was figuring out how to counter him, and then for some reason, so he fell out, and then he came just right back into the meta, and so right now Ethereal answering back with an Akai, which will help with the disengagements for those type of like gank potential to kind of throw it back and reply to the gank potential of Team First Blood, and then a Masha, which is going to have that great offensive ability, the invading possibilities with that. However, it's going to be interesting here because I do favor Julian in the jungle over every other role that I've been seeing him put in here in NA. I feel like the jungle role really capitalizes on what he can do, can get him around the map quick enough to really capitalize on all of his abilities. Whereas if you're in a side lane, you kind of stuck there trying to push that lane. If you're able to get that lane free, then you can rotate to help your teammates and stuff. But the utility of him to be around the map so quickly and being kind of like the flag leader for these ganks, I feel like is really going to put TFB over the top with this composition.
Yeah, Frisky. You know, like, what do you think about this Diggy ban, or this Diggy pick, not ban?
No, yeah, I'm about to say what Diggy pick. No, yeah, this Diggy pick, I'm always, as we saw last week, that Diggy pick can be definitely very situational and clutch, but for those moments, it is amazing. So I'm trying to see where that will come into play with this team, because they don't have a strong CCing ability besides, I'm looking at 1-1 stun maybe, or Julian as well. But
there was a change to Wanwan where her weakness stacks now can be cleansed. So Purify will take them out, including Diggy's Time Journey can cleanse your entire team of Wanwan stacks. So a good answer on the side of Ethereal there, and a very smart pick. And I've been seeing this a lot in a type of an answer to the Wanwan.
That's actually very smart. Yeah, okay.
And Diggy's been utilized now in MPLs, you know, overseas, quite often. You know, I mean, we've seen Blacklist utilize it a lot, so maybe they're just trying to adopt overseas comps here.
That could definitely be it. I mean, because he does have that burst potential too, and very annoying with that. I can't think of the name of the move, but that snapback that he does.
Reverse time.
Yeah, the reverse time. That could literally outposition almost any team when you're trying to engage or disengage or anything of that nature.
It does take a little bit, and the reason that Blacklist is able to use this so successfully a lot of the times is just because of how cohesive and the synergy that Blacklist has. That's why they're able to use things like a Diggy, like an Estes, or some of those squishier roams that you don't see too often in other ones. So we're gonna see with Ethereal, if their synergy and teamwork comes up to par as we move in to this second banning phase here, and they have been Ethereal looking a lot better during the second half of the league. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to be performing here against First Blood.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that I want to point out by these team comps that we're seeing here is just like I mean, we're looking really lethal on TFB, and we're looking a little bit more sustainable on ETA side. Frisky.
Oh yeah, definitely. As we were saying earlier, if we might get they're teasing it. Fred, but we don't know who they're gonna go. Actually, this is very interesting. I'm wondering who they will pick since they actually showed them. If they're just throwing that out there to put on their mind, or if they're gonna go with someone more traditional that we all know who can play.
Yeah, we're dabbling around a few things, and as you were talking about with some of these compositions, I feel like Julian doesn't really take off too fast, but we have two very late games in the Wanwan and the Esmeralda, two heroes that are going to take a little bit of time. They need to get their items before they're actually, before Esmeralda is that powerhouse that is weaving in and out of all of your damage, before Wanwan is like that monster that you need to take her down so quickly. So like still right now, we do have a little bit of lethality in the composition right now that we can put pressure onto that gold lane to kind of try to shut down Wanwan. And on the side of Ethereal, they have that. They have an early game with Akai, with the Masha pressure that's going to be put on there. And then they kind of have that roaming potential with the Diggy to be able to kind of help with the disengagements as we move more and more into the later game, depending on what they're going here for their marksmen. And we're starting to just see more and more roams as well, instead of like the tankier, or not roams, support roams than the tankier roams.
I want to shout something out here real quick too. Do you see what's next to TFB's name? A blue check mark.
Oh.
Pretty awesome, right? I mean,
No,
the
yeah,
team
yeah, yeah.
that places second place now has a blue check mark under their squad,
They haven't
making it
given
official.
out a check mark in 3 years. Just so that you guys online, like anybody else that I've seen with a check mark is because they were a team like 3 years ago. And like when I see that in ranked, I'm like, nah. These guys
You're
were
not nothing.
Somebody years ago,
Right?
not
You're
anymore.
the past.
But man, we're actually coming back to a point where that check mark's going to start meaning something. I'm excited. I did not notice that.
Like,
Something pretty cool to point out. TFB now into a verified squad, so pretty awesome on that aspect. But we are getting into the game here. Let's talk about the comp that they got going on here. You know, like they went for the Lilia, and then they also went for the Raph to kind of be more controllative. You know, Diggy being a support, Raph being a support. I just don't know if TFB is gonna have enough, you know, like control other than the Lilia and the Raph being like tied together.
Well, I feel like Lilia is an answer for this late game composition that they really have. Lilia is going to have that early game, just sustained damage on them. And she's going to be able to kind of fill in a tankier role until Masha comes in. Not actually a tank, but somebody to go in there and bait out all of these abilities. Then she'll activate her black boots and come on back so that those abilities are used up by the time the rest of Team First Blood is ready to come in with these fights. So I mean, I see the plan. I see it. It's gonna come down to the execution and the aggression from Ethereal. If they can put this on in the early game and keep that pressure on to Team First Blood.
Ooh, yeah. And I mean, Frisky, what's your take on this situation?
Oh no, I'm just sitting here looking. I'm seeing how their Raph is going around already roaming strong, and it's just not seeming like they're getting a lot of, you know, Raph is getting a lot of help currently. But they're already going around. It looks like Ethereal is trying to take control of the full jungle right now, which is really good. And you get that early game. Oh, we got a pause going on right now?
Yeah, we do, unfortunately. Something I want to point out is already you saw Luffy on, I don't know if you guys noticed, Luffy on that Esmeralda was already at the inhibitor turret of Ethereal, trying to soak up those minions. So trying to take a page from last week.
Oh god,
from the valley it was. So like I think trying to take a little bit more advantage of maybe the inability of Ethereal, or trying to test out that synergy that they have, because they're going to need to start calling this stuff out. You cannot, we saw it last week. You can't just let those fighters start soaking up these lanes and the gold from there, because it's, first of all, they're getting the gold for it, and you're not answering it. Second of all, you're going to have minions coming toward that lane and to that tower. Third, you're going to allow that Esmeralda to rotate during these objectives faster without Thamus being able to be there. So you're going to essentially be in a 4v5 situations here.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, we seen that last week of how horrible that can be for a team if they just let it ignore. And it was only for like a few minutes that they let that Uranus last week do that. So just imagine they letting Esmeralda do that for this early in the game already. It would be devastating to see that.
Yeah, it was to the point where they just didn't even have the damage to be able to take down the Uranus. He was farmed so fast, so quickly that there really wasn't much anybody could do. We see a little bit of engagement on the 1, 2, 3. Is not going to be able to get away. He did throw down that reverse time. Here is the rest of Team First Blood following up on that attack. Zia's favorite coming in here, trying to make Lucky pay the loop. And then pop up with the enhanced chain. No Fear goes down as well as Team First Blood trying their best here. We do have a heavy spin that was able to pin them down for a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team First Blood. So they're able to get the kills, but there is a response from Ethereal.
Oh, that 1-1 up top.
Yeah, in the meantime, 1-1 able to kill a solo 1-1 kill onto the Brody here. The Bruno, not the Brody. So that was crazy, you know, like if you can solo win the gold lane, you know you're doing good.
Well, especially as a Wama, it was such a difficult early game against a Brody. So, I mean, that speaks something about the laning ability of Wait, who's that? Prophecy, yeah.
Prophecy, yeah.
Everybody's joy now. So you're trying to figure it out. No, definitely. Frisky, what do you think each side's winning condition are right now?
I honestly think Ethereal's winning condition right now, they're doing really good with the fact of going ahead and trying to lock down this jungle, because I'm fully on making sure you get objectives and early objectives and getting that extra shield boost from taking turtle, that gold, make sure you have vision in the actual in the lanes and things like that. I believe that will honestly set the sight for them to actually capitalize on major team fights, like when everything actually goes down mid to late game. But if we can see them, the First Blood, do what they did now to get these picks off by themselves, like they did with 1-1, and then can go into a full team fight, oh man, it's going to be game over.
Yeah, and already in these items, we're seeing that Prophecy already has that corrosive Scythe up above the Bruno there. Kid is in a little bit of trouble, has that reverse time locked on, and he's not going to be able to get out of it, as we do have Luffy trying to provide some type of support with the ultimate coming in there. Is going to go ahead and escape and dodges, very wisely dodges that flame shot. And Thamus actually, they are going to go ahead and separate down at the bottom as a little bit of a push and shove happened at the mid, but no real deaths yet. So good job by both teams to kind of eke out of that without taking any type of well, actually, what's his name? Kid got taken down there. So it was a good on Ethereal to be able to get that without a reply on the side of Team First Blood.
That's what you want to see. Like I said, they're all getting in this jungle together, and if they keep catching them like that one too many times, sad to say, First Blood might not be able to recuperate from that if someone gets caught out by themselves in the jungle.
Yeah, we do see that Holy Baptism does land onto No Fear there, but Masha's really not the person you want. They're going ahead and still trying to pull this turtle to their side, starting to get flanked now. We do see that Loaf is able to take that turtle there and basically steal it away from Team First Blood. So a good job by Ethereal on the macro here right now in the early game.
Yeah, they're doing this, and it's slowly inking them a actual gold lead. You see, it's 14.1 and 14K now. That's only like a couple hundred gold, but if they keep taking these objectives like that, it's going to slowly increase and increase until we'll see those power spikes when those major items hit.
Yeah, they really wanted to hit this top lane here, though. You know, the biggest thing that I haven't seen from either side is just being able to get any kill off the gold towers. But
Yeah, we're seeing a little engagement here. No fear. I mean, this is the point of a Masha, to soak up damage. Oh, but a nice catch up on the top by Luffy, who is going to get hit by a heavy spin, but it's not really going to do much to lock him down. Thamus is in the back of the jungle trying to answer. Pop-up that does catch Chef Teasy. So, I mean, just the map awareness on the side of Team First Blood. They're coming in at these angles and still able to catch Ethereal. I want to say kind of slipping here. Even when they get a good engagement and are trying to disengage, there's always a Team First Blood member there to try to kind of clean up those kills.
Yeah, we saw Bruno get that first kill, get the first tower actually, but then ended up losing his life and losing his top tower. So it's still looking like just those flat micro plays are coming in handy right now.
Yeah, right now I feel like the damage and aggression is kind of lacking on the side of Ethereal. We're waiting for that late game to kind of come in where the Bruno's going to be able to do. Honestly, Bruno's really the only real damage on the side of Ethereal here. I mean, you're going to have a Masha in there, but you're basically putting all your hope on it. The Falling Star Moon does land on the 1, 2, 3 and no fear. Oh, and a nice reverse time there, and a heavy spin coming down as we are engaging on this third turtle. It is only down about 10% here, but they are doing a great job of kind of zoning out the rest of Ethereal. Team First Blood still on it, is going to go ahead and pull it back to their side, is what you want to do with these types of turtles. He comes in Loaf able to steal it again, and now we have a fight at the turtle buff. Prophecy able to get a kill onto Loaf here, and they are in chase as Zia's favorite goes down as well, so they get the turtle, but they pay for it with 2 members of their own.
That wasn't worth it when it comes down to it. I was like, oh, they got the skill, are they going to disengage? But they got actually caught up, and then you fed the one person you don't want to feed, and that's 1-1.
Yeah. And they're also getting their towers taken here. And then that comes down to the shot caller and the crispness of the team. No fear is going to go ahead and dive on him, but you have 3 members of Team First Blood here. Putting on the damage. Here comes an enhanced chain. He is trying to get away, is going to go ahead and have to disengage. But like I was saying, the synergy and the shot calling, when you get the turtle, it should be immediate. You either are attacking or you all need to get out of dodge. The right call would have been to get out of there, but they kind of stuck around too long and ended up paying for it.
Yeah. I definitely seen that happen, and now almost all of the first tier towers are down, and now they're approaching the second tier towers here. And I mean, was that turtle really worth it? Because now you're looking in trouble.
Oh yeah, no, and she is hitting hard. 1-1 is hitting very hard against this tower, and they can't really protect it. And with the wave coming in, they might have to just give this one up unless they all try to go in and all for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like we're kind of underutilizing the composition that we have. I didn't really feel that aggression on the side of the Masha, kind of like with the invades or trying to put that pressure on early games. He is having a little bit of trouble. He's going to go ahead all in right now. We do have a time journey coming out. No fear might be in a little bit of trouble as down goes Diggy. Chef is down as well as a Loaf. That is a 4 kills right now. Team First Blood does not seem to be slowing down at all as they push through the mid tower.
They might be able to get all the secondary towers on this push if they play their cards right, actually, too, and the actual inhibitor tower.
Oh my. Almost broke into the base there. Maybe if had just a little bit of help, might have done it. But the passive on the tower did proc. They are going for Lord now, Frisky.
Yeah, like, oh man, see, I was wondering, like, it's all about those objectives, and we see now that they actually got control of this, and it's just gonna snowball unless they can figure out, like, that get their come together to roam as a team to figure something out. It might be, you know, the downfall of them for this game.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like even if we start moving into this later game where Chef TZ would be able to start doing a heck of a lot more damage, you're banking it on one person, and I don't really feel like we have the peel from Akai in case we get into these types of engagements. Oh, look at Shen over there just waiting. And, yeah, Fear might be in a little bit of trouble here. Is running against the wall. All that that damage. Just pounding down. Trying to get away, but gets popped up by those enhanced chains as here comes the Lord into the mid. We have a time journey coming up, but it is not enough to save Diggy. Loaf goes down as well as they are just right up and on this tower. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a wrap for the game one real versus Team First Blood.
Wow. On the first Lord, with that first Lord push to be able to do that. That was kind of a, you know, they flexed their muscles on that one.
Yeah, it's for me when I look at this composition, I feel like we tried to answer too much to the side of Team First Blood. We had a very early Masha pick, and then when we had that Wan come out, we answered that as well with a Diggy. So now we have basically you're forced to put Diggy into that roaming, or not the roaming, into that mage slot. So you've basically taken out a huge bit of damage that you can do for your composition. And while you still and you have the tankiness, but tankiness alone does not win, especially against the just raw damage that you can do on the side of a Team First Blood, from a Julian, from a Lilia, from a Wan. These are three hard hitting characters here. And on the side of Ethereal, we just have a Chef Teasy on that Bruno. It's basically all on him. So the only thing that Team First Blood need to do was just crowd that gold lane, shut down Bruno, make sure that Chef Teasy cannot get farm, and you've basically won the game if you shut down one character.
And that's kind of what you saw right there. I mean, if you go look at that 031, he only had 6k gold, and then you go look at respectively over at Joy, you see 704 with 8k gold. That's a whole 2k difference, and those are like two main items difference as well. And it's just nothing. He didn't pop off. Chef Teasy sadly wasn't able to pop off, and that was what he needed, especially during those team fights and when he didn't have those items for that major damage. And then you saw what happened, and I wonder, will they learn and correct from their mistakes that happened this game?
I mean, that's a good question, you know, and it kind of, like I was saying, you know, TFB looked very lethal, and ETH was just a little bit more on the sustainable side. Didn't really have enough damage output there because they did have to build a lot of anti-heal early to hopefully counter the Wrath.
Yeah, and then I feel like we kind of squandered the Masha pick a bit by keeping it very it didn't feel as aggressive as it should be to really work with the Masha, to take advantage of those invades and the early game that you did have. Because and then what I explained earlier is kind of the cohesion with the teams. Once you get an objective, I kind of felt like the team was like, all right, we did it. And then they're like, now what?
Now what?
And that's where, then Team First Blood was able to come in because they already knew, all right, we lost the objective. Let's try to make them pay for it immediately. Right after the turtle, immediately jumping on the Ethereal. When Ethereal should have been looking for a way to disengage very quickly, and it kind of felt like they all were in a state of flux rather than everybody kind of running the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, so Frisky, Ethereal did just take a loss here. What's your ideals of what they could do to kind of turn this tide?
It feels like what they're gonna honestly need to do to bounce back is mainly don't let the psychological warfare of this, losing first, don't let that get to you. Just, take a deep breath and then regather yourself. Learn from your mistakes, learn from the pick bans, or if your own bans, make sure you have more than one person who can actually carry your team, one or more person that can kind of put down damage, or just, it seems like your communication, because they started off really good. They started off taking control of the jungle. They got the first 2 or 3 turtles, but then after they got that last turtle and they ended up paying for it, it looked like it started slowly unraveling there. And then it just kind of just fell off, and just one mistake after another between your macro and your micro plays, and it looked like they just lost conversation, lost the teamwork, and was almost kind of playing for themselves. And I'm just hoping they can learn from that and learn from the mostly it all starts right here in the banning phase.
Yeah, definitely. What's your take, Private? What do you think they can do here?
Well, they have first pick, so they are in a very good position to get something priority, given that hopefully that they can play something priority, given a Julian or a Balmond, who's a really great early game. We do see that the Juan and Esmeralda being taken off, so kind of flexing around the entire bands around the picks from last game here, which does mean that you are leaving a pretty decent amount of things open. Still got Julian. Balmond was banned last time as well. So we're going to see what they answer with, and how they can use their comp to complement that first pick as well. So it's going to be, I really, that's one thing that I think a few teams that really kind of separates those good teams from the great teams here right now in the squad league is you get that pick. And you have to work the rest of your composition around it as well. And we're gonna see a Beatrix here, another priority pick being left open, but quick, our team first blood to scoop up that Julian.
I mean, Julian to me is such a heavy hitter. Now they're picking up the Kai. They're kind of just like, listen, we're gonna show you here, and I mean the Kai's good. Again, like you were saying though, the Balmond is open, so maybe from the side of Ethereal they go for more of a comp that's focused around objective base, just trying to secure the snowball and then just going from there.
Well, the interesting thing here is the precarious position you're in right now. You pick this Balmond, which means you're going to need to have an answer for Joybaj on the Sakai. The charge, the headbutts, or the I forgot what it's called. It's the headbutt on the new Kung Fu Panda skin, but his dash that Akai does pops you up. And we all know that one of the few things that stops Balmond's spinning is a pop-up. And we're not talking about an ult. We're talking about just a normal move with like a 6-second cooldown. So he's going to have to be very careful about how he's using that. And if somebody is soaking up or where Joybaj is here on the map for him to be able to kind of utilize that and to get that damage there, or he can get shut down pretty easily. So right now we're kind of leaning. We have the early game with the Balmond, which I think can kind of be answered by that Akai, and then 2 late game heroes here right now. Both teams already have their marksmen, and so it looks like right now we're kind of leaning and looking for that XP lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The XP lane and the going for mage, who they're going to pick. It looks like, they're waiting for the last second during this ban phase. And we see an Atlas ban, actually, which for any grouping, he is dangerous to go against. So, I mean, I don't see him played that often, but I know how versatile he can be and how game-changing his ult can be if done in the right area, the right time, or the right place, especially late game.
Your team is banning.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I mean, like Private was saying early on, like, we can just see nothing but respect bans here, like they got rid of almost every single hero they were playing in the last game. But again, I mean, when you start doing that, most of the teams have more hero pools than just that character. So we'll definitely see what they respond with. Who do you think the fighter is going to be for TFB?
So as far there's a little bit of a lack of early game fighters that can really help you capitalize on the early game that you need to have here. I'm sorry?
Fred's open.
Yeah,
he is, but he's not really early game. I feel like oh my god, I already forgot his name because I haven't seen him I think this whole season. God. The sandstorm.
The sandstorm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Let me check my notebook real fast.
The man who rides the sand.
Oh God, I already forgot his name, but he's an early game, a lot of damage, a lot of sustain, and the ability to rotate very quickly. So he could be one if they know how to use him. Oh my God, it's gonna kill me right now.
It's gonna bug you the whole time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It always bugs Private. It always, they do pick up the Thamos. So I mean, I feel like it's a good go here. Maybe the Grok.
Trap Fact coming in with the chat real quick, telling us that it is Khalid. We are all trying to talk about.
Khalid.
It is Khalid.
I didn't even know who they were trying to talk about. I was like, what do you mean Sandman?
Well, I feel like as far as like an
together.
early game advantage, if you're going to go outside the box, if you're going to try to pick something that will give you that early game, that would probably be the best. Because right now, from the composition, it looks like we are heavily leaning on the late game, especially with a Ruby. She's going to take some items. Franco and Balmon might be able to counteract that with the invade and the harassment. However, like I said, I feel like you're putting a lot onto Balmon, who is going to have to contest with the Nakai.
Yeah, and it does seem like they're trying to go the Franco route to be able to like catch Prophecy, you know, like catch that Claude, stop him from teleporting all the time, you know. I feel like that's what they're going to be rotating on. I mean, we'll see. We haven't seen Xavier in a while.
Apparently back from his vacation, because he just slipped out in the middle of NACT. How did, like, people just stop picking him, stop banning him? I was looking through notes. I'm like, did I miss the memo? Is he not allowed to be played? He just got the round of nerfs that went to him. People just found him too easy to be ganked. And his positioning, he has to be too close to the fight. So people just, they have better picks in their minds. People with a little bit more mobility. Even Fars are getting picked over him now. So, I mean, it's going to be amazing to see him now, especially we do see that Shen has picked up that sprint, but we are going to roll right into this game 2, possibly the last game of this series. Ethereal taking on Team First Blood.
Yeah, and we did see that Team First Blood secured the first round here, so we're gonna definitely see if Ethereal can turn the tide, you know, show us some of their pro abilities, and know that they're also playing with the big dogs, you know, here, Frisky.
Yeah, I'm looking and trying to gather how they're gonna do this first, well, you know, these first few minutes. They look like they're all jumping. Oh, we already got a hook.
Yeah, Shen in a little bit of trouble. Does get hooked up quite quickly there, but is going to go throw down some CC of his own. That is going to force the recall on him, but we do see that Team First Blood invading jungle already.
Yeah, everybody is playing almost very aggressively, honestly. They're both invading each other's jungle within the first few minutes, and will this be beneficial or not is what's going to come down if they get caught.
Oh, was he able to get it?
Oh, he got out.
He was. He's able to steal that from the side of Team First Blood. So great positioning and great come in there by Loaf from Team Ethereal to see the opening there, and his Retri Fu was stronger than Kids there. To pick up that first.
Private's a meme.
Yeah. He got puns ready for days.
Oh,
and
another hook land. Shen is just, man, he is a moth to the flame for these. And another pop up there. As Nofio's gonna have to waste that flicker to get out of there. Nice block by 1, 2, 3, but it does cost both of them. So he gets in the way, sacrifices himself, but you still
all for naught.
Costing yourself 2 of them. And now Loaf is gonna get popped up, and this is what I was talking about.
Look at this CC.
He's gonna go ahead and get all the way to be popped up. The CC slowing him down, and now Loaf is 3 unanswered kills by Team First Blood here.
Wow.
I think that was just bad on their part. From any map awareness to communication, why would you allow your bomber to go into a disadvantage so early into a fight and just allow them to do things like get another kill, secure jungle, get the turtle, and this is just going to start the potential of a horrible snowball effect.
Yeah, we do see that the rest of the team is trying to come in here a little bit late, but this is what happens when you have such a late game composition. There is no on the side of Ethereal that can withstand this push right now as we see them falling like dominoes here. And Ruby is going to be the next one to get taken down. Another 3 kills for the side of Team First Blood. And Ethereal just need to sit back, take a breath. Suck it in, you guys. They're playing upset. I can sense it. I can feel the disturbance in the force from them right now. They just need to relax and kind of get their wits back on themselves, because we still have this mid to late game coming in here, and no towers have been taken.
Yeah, I was about to say, Private's like in here trying to like preach his inner peace moments. My God.
He's feeling all that kung fu. He's feeling that center oneself.
Yeah, feeling that kung fu inner peace.
And that's what they need to do. They need to find some type of peace, or find something. Like I said, they need to bring it down, calm it down, slow it down, because this is at the pace that they want. This is at First Blood's pace. They're going quick, fast, and as we see again, another kill, and they're able to capitalize on them one after another. And they need to communicate and let them know where they're going to be, or where they should be together, roam together, do something, because if they keep going one in at a time, it's just going to unravel.
Well, right now, it's basically Team First Blood is taking advantage of this early game domination that they have. I'm looking right there. Joyboz is trying to use a very nice little flicker there with that I'm Offended, able to pull in 2 members, and then a little bit of a bait there from Joyboz, trying to lure them into a bigger fight as we have more members of Team First Blood there to kind of cover the escape. Now we are on the blue buff here. Kid just not afraid. And he is. Oh no, he wasn't able to steal that away. So now Kid's taking out a decent amount of damage here. Might be a little bit of trouble here as he does pop that those chains onto 1, 2, 3 Kid. He is going to go ahead and use that ability to go ahead and teleport himself back to safety. But now, another Jesus! He's in a little bit of trouble. We have a heavy spin. He does pin them against the wall, and down goes Loaf, and No Fear quick to follow. 1, 2, 3. Why would you even turn around to fight that?
I'm sorry.
He did not want his friends to be lonely in their death, so he joined them quickly. And right now, it is an 11-0 game. A very dominant early 5 minutes from the side of Team First Blood.
You said it, 5 minutes, and we're already at a 4K deficit, and it doesn't look like nothing is stopping them now, because they're able to lay down so much damage, and it looked like Chef Teasy got out with just a hair on their head. And
maybe.
And maybe not. Look.
Yeah, they're trying, but right now they are just up against I mean, these are the grand finalists in North America. I mean, there's not really much more to say about it. I know this doesn't look great for Ethereal, but I mean, not many teams can really withstand it from them in the first place, which is why they made it to the grand finals. Lau's going to go down there as well, followed quickly behind. No fear. Set back as a warning to the others. Tell your friends what you saw here. They allow Franco away from that tower. It is now a 13-0 game for Team First Blood.
And the first tower just went down. It just fallen. And that's just more gold and more room for them to go play around. Now you're going to finally see the marksmen get into the fray, into the mix of these fights, I believe. And that's just going to be more damage being put down on them, because that whole time you saw Beatrix up and within these fights to try to help, and it allowed the bottom lane to do what they needed to do.
No one went in. Like the Julian, there's a whole squad in the bush, and then
they
just left to get tower shots taken to the face.
No fear does come in here, though. He's going to have to expend that flicker to get away. And right now, it's just amazing, because you are going, Dia's favorite is going to be able to...
Not going to make it. Got the first kill.
A beautiful bait onto Luffy. Does score the kill there. So that is going to go ahead and put Ethereal on the board.
Maybe that could be something they can use. Oh, that was a good pull, but they weren't able to capitalize on that. But they got paid for it with another death.
Julian is so tough.
Yeah, especially when he's fed right now. We're talking about a almost an 8K gold lead right now in the opening 7 minutes. Like not just an 8K gold lead, but 7 minutes in right now. These people barely have their first items, and Team First Blood just punishing them. Like I said, this was that early game. This is how you have to play. Oh, Chef Deezy!
The shotgun
just wiped Kid off the map there, but is gonna pay for it. But I don't think he cares. He says he's already won. He did what he came here to do. And took down
man.
Kid.
This is something like it's just so much. It's so overpowering and overwhelming. No matter if it is a mismatch of 1v2 or even 1v3, they're able to come out mostly on top, if not an equal trade, and that's just not what you need. No Fear paying for it again, being out position, and just I feel like they're just slowly giving up. They're not doing what needs to be done. They're not just reeling it in and slowing it down. They need to back out of the jungle for right now and just take a breath and figure out, hey, how can we isolate someone without putting everyone on our side at risk? Especially, like I said, with this 6K gold lead, there has to be something. They have to communicate with themselves, with their teammates, and figure out what to do. Like this, a beautiful hook.
Yeah, hook does go on the Kid, and it looks like he might be getting taken out. He is going to be able to get out of the way as we see
Oh my God!
Reach those auto attacks. So Prophecy able to get out of the way there as he dives 2 towers deep into the back of Ethereal's line and still able to use that battle mirror image to get himself back to safety. And it looks like now Team First Blood are not messing around. They're immediately going to go for this Lord and try to shut this down here. And this is the question here is, are Ethereal going to be able to shut down this first Lord push? As we know, last game they weren't able to, and they are a late game comp right now.
Yeah. One thing we did see is that the Zia's favorite trying to get the utilization of a split push to have a little bit of lane control, maybe come back. I think Ethereal's going to have to really turtle down and hold out.
Yeah, we do see that enhanced change does go on the Loaf. He is going to be able to dash his way to safety, but you still have 3 members with the dawning light there. Loaf is running for his life, and here comes the blazing duet to finish the job. No Fear's going to go ahead and expend that flicker. Nice hook does connect with the suppression, and down goes Kid. No Fear with a little bit of health left is going to have to disengage there. So they are able to pick up a kill here, but I'm not sure what else they need to do right now. They need to wait until this late game, and unfortunately that's easier said than done when you have the enemy at the gates ready to charge in.
Yeah, like you said, it's easier said than done. And what they need to do is honestly get an ace, but they can't really do it, because even if they get 1 kill, they can't capitalize on it because it took away all their health, or they lost a few members themselves. And when trying to do that, they can't capitalize on the 1 or 2 shining lights that they can get, be it a kill, or as we saw, a nice actual, they got the hook on the tower. All the moves were together, but they just had too many items. They were able to take all of that damage and get away with little to no health to their names. And they just have to still play it slow, but hope to get catches like that and then capitalize on it once they take out 1 or 2 members.
Yeah, I mean, the hook's been playing a key factor.
Yeah, and they do have a great defensive ability here with this composition. You have the great clear from the Sicilian, from the Beatrix, from the Belmont, and then while you're trying to charge into these inhibitor towers, you have to be afraid of these hooks. You have to be afraid of the damage or the suppression that can come down to you. And unfortunately, Zia's favorite gets taken down there. And I was going to say, you have to be afraid of that I'm offended as well from the Ruby. And another hook does land, and Luffy in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to activate that Quadrat Inferno, and we have a heavy spin taking down Chef Peasy. Loaf is going to go ahead and be able to take down Luffy here. Sort of the 1-for-1 trade right now. Oh, No Fear with no health to his name right now. We are putting on damage on to this inhibitor tower. Are they going to be able to clear it out? They are able to, but the top inhibitor tower does go down, so they're able to, and a wide hook. That might be No Fear's first missed hook this entire game. So congrats for that right now, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to stop this blue buff from being taken by the side of Team First Blood here. I mean, there's signs of life right now from Ethereal.
Yeah, we're building a lot of magic defense. As you can see, the enemy's team is. I mean, the two of their heaviest hitters right now are magic. Also, Joybaj being a Nakai with 4 kills is pretty crazy as well. So that's something you don't see every day.
It looked like they might
Yeah,
be getting ready for the
oh.
Lord again. Oh, wow, that was a
that?
what?
See a
That was
beautiful
a
hook and the suppress, but here comes the heavy spin into a blazing duet. Prophecy on the chase right now. No Fear doesn't look like he's going to be getting out of this, and he is going to catch a quick ride back to the base. We do have an enhanced chain that does go wide in this middle. Inhibitor tower is going to have some problems here. Chef Teasy trying to run away. We have 5 members now at the enemy's gate. Are they going to be able to stop this? I mean, you still have the good damage there. We're good. Looks like we're going to go into a just kidding.
We're going into a just kidding.
With our help, they could be the best one day.
Nice.
We do have a fight here now. They are onto the tower, taking very low right now, and there goes the damage.
Who is doing this?
Who is this? Okay, so
I don't know how that's
apparently-
happening. There's like a ghost
yeah,
in the
that's somebody.
lobby.
Can it say? And that is pause meta is not going to be enough to save this for Ethereal, as that gets wiped up quite neatly on the side of Team First Blood.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Like the lobby just kept pausing itself.
It was it was
GG tournament lobby.
Right, tournament lobby was trying to help them any way that they could, like get it together, but at the end it was just impossible to see anything come out of this. And you can blame it on the psychological level where they just got mowed down too fast. There's so many things. Early games, they kind of started off really good. We saw Loaf go in, but it was just at the end of the day that I don't know what to say. That was very quick. That was a very quick and definitive game.
Well, I see the only early game that you had was this Franco and the Belmont, and Belmont was already answered by the Akai, right from the beginning. So Franco's able to pull in, but he wasn't able to, the team was not able to kind of balance around that to do enough damage. They were able to catch not Prophecy, they were able to catch a Shen right at the beginning of the game, but not able to do enough damage to actually transition that into a kill. And then you still have the rest of Team First Blood here as you get a little more thirstier, especially in the early game. Team First Blood immaculately able to kind of close ranks around that mid lane, get 2 kills off of get a kill off of No Fear, then get a kill off of 1-2-3, and then kind of a frustrating decision made by Loaf there on the Belmont to kind of dive in there. Like, I mean, that's the kind of frustration that you get when you're trying to not give them free kills. You know what I mean? When you're like, all right, I'm going to make something happen here because they just killed 2 of my teammates. But unfortunately, it takes a lot of discipline and patience there where you got to be able to let those things go. And it's kind of part of the learning curve when it comes to games like this, where you see something like that happen, where you see them kind of raining and pushing down your lanes, and you have to be patient. You can't just run in there without a plan. And unfortunately, it seemed like once TFB got into the heads of Ethereal, it was GG from there, because I mean, you've got your only hope is these 2 late hitters in Chef Teasy on that Beatrix, and then 1-2-3 on that Sicilian. But man, Kid, absolutely dominating performance by him right from the get-go, immediately, and did not let up. 13 minutes of pain, that was.
Yes.
Welcome to the pain zone, right?
Yeah, to be 10-14, man, that's just astronomical. Those are really good numbers you want to see put up by anyone on your team, but let alone your carry, let alone he was able to do and play his position so well. And definitely hats off to Joy Kid for doing what he was doing and able to just keep it up the whole way through.
They did really good, you know. And I mean, I was actually surprised on how it was literally 7 minutes into the match, man, and that was literally the most fighting I've ever seen, and it was just so aggressive, you know. They were definitely killing it.
That's what the experience part kind of comes into here, is how much you play these characters, how much you know what they can do in that early game and know that you can pressure them, know that you have the composition. And once you start steamrolling, Team First Blood just didn't let up. They just kept going, knowing that with Ethereal behind, and that's what you're supposed to do. And that's what usually happens. What usually happens as we start going up higher up onto the mountain for teams that can sustain. Teams like what New Wave was pretty much known for is being able, they would play these late comps where enemies would be able to do that to them. But the only difference is New Wave knew that, they addressed it, and they played like they were trying to be careful there. They weren't trying to they weren't getting baited into these fights that they couldn't win. They were patient. If they got kills, like most of those games, even with them being patient, they still had a decent amount of kills go against them until they got into the late game. And I think it's all about knowing your comp, if it's early or late game, and then executing that. And I feel like that's still something that's going to need to be worked on for Ethereal here for some of these comps, is to kind of realize where your strengths lie and play to it, which is a difference from the first game. Masha and a lot of early game potential from them in the first game just wasn't capitalized here. And then this next second composition, a lot of late game comp, which was abused.
No.
Yes.
We definitely seen that happen. That was for sure. And again, you know, I was just like blown off by like how crazy and energetic the games were. I just couldn't, like, it was good to see, you know, like sometimes like games are just like, you know, back and forth, you know, just little things here and there that you get caught on. But like this was just like a fighting match. Like they took the gloves off, went bare hands, and both teams were just swinging.
Yeah, and I would say that's what you like to see. That's what you want to see. And like as viewers and as you know, people watching it, us casting, it is exciting to see like just a slug off a slugfest. But it was like they didn't know when to. Sometimes you gotta pull back a little bit. Because
if that's the metaphor we're going with, and they unfortunately picked a fight with somebody who was like 2 grades higher than them.
Oh, geez.
I mean, you got that pride, and you're gonna get back up, but man, you're gonna take a beating in that early stance of it. But I mean, it's all part of the learning curve here, and it's stuff that you get from playing, that you learn. That when it comes to some of these calls, like I said, there was frustration, and it comes into like handling that frustration in a decent way that doesn't make you like charge into enemies in a 4v1. But a great job to both teams. But I mean, we're talking about Team First Blood here, grand finalists. Not enough positivity can be said about them, and probably one of the favorites going into the qualifiers that are going to be happening here in the next few months. So, I mean, not exactly just any team. I mean, you know what I mean? We're talking about pretty much the second best, arguably second best.
Arguably, look, right? Somebody might be
first, Private.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the New Wave won.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
If we're going to look at a
salt
textbook
shaker, why don't
in
you?
20 years.
Oh, God.
My gosh. My gosh. All right, well, with us, we're gonna be pulling the teams together. The next series, Insomniacs versus the Valley, so it's gonna be crazy. Absolutely. We're gonna take maybe about a 5-minute break to get these players into the match and to possibly do a ping check. So we'll see you guys in just a couple minutes.
in comes that ultimate.
The openings, they're not able to find those singles. Oh, that's going to come out with another find.
With that ultimate trying to make some space. Sharp with the Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on to 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Simpsons. Away to second best player with the petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offended on the Sharp. They take that tower. Coming around the side of Ackerman there. With the dark goal. Coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just outrotating them.
Three members down, make that forward, Nicolette all alone, but they don't have any no, but again, no one's able to stop this Newman on blast, and it crashes down, and gets the spin on the
How's it going, guys? We're kind of back. We got a little bit of sad news here for the NASL. Insomniacs, unfortunately, their mage and their tank was not available, and I don't think we had any proper subs in the lineup that actually could join. So there was definitely some difficulties. So Insomniacs unfortunately did DQ, and the Valley did take that W. So we do have one more game of the series, which is the Simpsons versus Ackerman, but unfortunately that game is not until 10 EST, which is like 70 minutes from now. I tried to get them to come early, but they of course, like we had a set time for a reason. People have lives, they got stuff to do. I really wanted to see the Valley play. I really wanted to see Insomniacs play, but I think it's just gonna come down to we're gonna go on about a 70-minute break. If I can get them in sooner, I will, but for right now we're definitely gonna just take a break. So I'll see you guys in about 70 minutes. Why you gotta laugh at that?
Because in about 70 minutes, I'm just like, oh my god, like
GG's. We'll be right back, chat. That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we gonna see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The down counter is just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, away the nice stun on the Shark. Pokey doing some damage to the I feel so alive, it's like I'm down to all the shit on my mind, I feel like I'm living vibes. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. I ain't living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the endless sky, still I grind to keep me on top, no ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise, know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality.
Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of defense on the Shark, but it looks like Team Sexy wants to forward a nice flicker kick, nice knock up, down goes Molecule to the major kick.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing that Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. I think that was messed up on the
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the field.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though, getting caught up. Omega gets a stun, in comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there, and do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage. He does cover it from Syndicate. Wait a second. Quicker way. Ziggy though chasing in. Does have the ultimate way to use it. All the way down there. Strike. Slow down. Trying to take it really much damage. Taking some damage, in comes that ultimate.
The openings, they're not able to find those singles out. That's going to get caught with another find.
Big swing down. Nice knock along the best player. Best player maybe going down once again. He is getting down, able to kill, and does push on the fender upon the Nicolette. Zia with that ultimate trying to make some space. Sharp with an Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on the 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Simpsons. Wait a second. Best player with the Petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offender on the shoulder. They take that tower. Zia now coming around the side of Ackerman with the dark. Coming on the Sharp. Ackerman of this team fight. The disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
Players from the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
we do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you. And for all of our new viewers, welcome to the show.
We hope you
and
enjoy.
I hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The down counter is just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark, Pokey doing a little damage to the locked up.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm hypnotized. All the shit on my mind, I feel like I'm ill-advised. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy, still I grind to keep me on top, no ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Secured it just barely. Out goes there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the fan. What a set! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
Wait, there's a Petrify locked on. Gals coming in the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. The Markins here.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of damage on the shark. But it looks like Team Sexy wants to forward a nice flicker kick, nice knock up. Down goes Molecule to the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. That was messed up on the baby coming in and taking out Hayabusa.
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the field.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though, getting caught up. Omega gets a stun, in comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there, and do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage. He does cover it from Syndicate. He gets the pick. Wait a second. Taken out. Zia on the map. Zia taking some damage. In comes that ult.
The openings, they're not able to find those shoulders out. As we just get caught with another find.
Big swing down. Nice knock him on. Best player maybe going down once again. He is going down. Able to kill. And does push on. Offended upon the Nicolette. Zia with that ultimate trying to make some space. Sharp with an Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on the 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Simpsons. Wait a second. Best player with the petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offended on the Sharp. They take that tower. Zia now coming around the side of Ackerman there. With the Sharp going on. They are going to get on Nicolette coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just
still able to get the kill on the best player. 3 members down, make that forward. Nicolette all alone, but they don't have any Sharp moving over again. No one's able to stop this movement on Black. It crashes down and gets the kill on the wall. Makes that all alone. Team fight, the disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
A place where the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
we do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you. And for
all of our new viewers,
welcome to the show.
We hope you
And I
enjoy.
hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The death counter just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark, Pokey doing a little damage to the left up.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm hypnotized. All the shit on my mind, feel like I'm ill-advised. I've lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy, still I grind to get me on top, no ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Secured it just barely. Goes there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the fan. What a set! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
Wait, there's a Petrify locked on. Gals keeping the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. Marcus here. Able to get the kill.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of damage on the shark, but it looks like Team Sexy wants to score. A nice flicker kick, nice knock up. Down goes Molecule to the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. I think that was the best up on the but Baby coming in and taking out Hayabusa. Oh my
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the feet.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though getting caught up. Omega gets a stun. In comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there. And do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage. There he does cover it from Syndicate. Get the kill. Wait a second. taking some damage. In comes that ult.
The openings, they're not able to find those shoulders. Best players get caught with another find.
Gallo with a nice knock on the best player. Best player maybe going down once again. He is going to hang down, able to get the kill. And does push on the fender upon Nicolette Zia with that ultimate trying to make some space. Sharp with the Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on the 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Splits. Wait a second. Best player with the petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offender on the Sharp. They take that tower. Zia now coming around the side of Axel there. With the Sharp able to get the kill on Nicolette coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just out rotating and out
but still able to get the kill on the best player. 3 members down, make that forward. Nicolette all alone, but they don't have any no one's able to stop this Newman on blast. It crashes down and gets the pin on the this team fight. The disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
A place where the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
we do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you.
And for all of our new viewers,
welcome to the show.
We hope you
and
enjoy.
I hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The death counters are just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark. Pokey doing a little damage to the left up.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm living high. All the shit on my mind, feel like I'm living vibes. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy. Still I grind to get me on the top. No ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap. This an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes. Feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Just barely goes down by Supra. And they secure the kill on the fan. What a set! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
Wait, there's the Firefly locked on. Gals keeping the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. Marcus here.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of DJ on the sharp. But it looks like Team Sexy wants to score. Nice flicker kick. Nice knock up. Down goes Mara Q to the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. I am booping. I think that was a mess up on the first time. But Bailey coming in and taking out Lucha. Oh my
And kind of have someone keeping vision. We are seeing a bit of a pick on off the feet.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though getting caught up. Omega gets a stun. In comes Syndicate. He does use that petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there and do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage there. He does cover it from Syndicate. He gets the kill. Wait a second.
openings. They're not able to find those angles out. Best players get caught with another find.
With that ultimate, trying to make some space. Sharp with an Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on to 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Splits. Wait a second. Best player with the petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offended on the Sharp. They get that tower. Now coming around the side of Ackerman there. With the Sharp coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just out rotating and out
but still able to get the kill on to Best Slayer. 3 members down, make that forward. Nicolette all alone, but they don't have Starmoon though, but again, no one's able to stop this Newman on blast. And it crashes down and gets the spin on the this team fight. The disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
A place where the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
we do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you. And for
all of
those
our new viewers, welcome
to the show.
We hope you
And I
enjoy.
hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The death counters are just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark, Pokey doing a little damage to the blast up.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm hypnotized. All the shit on my mind, feel like I'm televised. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy. Still I grind to get me on the top. No ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap. This an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes. Feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Just barely outgoes there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the Fanny. What a set! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
Wait, there's a firefly locked on. Gals keeping the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. Marquez here.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to get me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of defense on the Sharks, but it looks like Team Sexy wants to forward. A nice flicker kick, nice knock up, down goes Molecule to the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. That was messed up on the Fanny coming in and taking out Supra. Oh my
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the field.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though getting caught up. Omega gets a stun. In comes Syndicate. He does use that petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there and do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage there. He does cover it. Syndicate will get the kill. Wait a second. Flicker away. Ziggy though chasing in. Does have that ultimate way to use it. For all those down there, strike. So down, trying to take it really much damage. checking out Zia on the map. Zia taking some damage. In comes that ult.
The openings, they're not able to find those singles out. That's going to get caught with another define.
With that ultimate, trying to make some space. Sharp with the Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on the 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Sports. Away the second best player with the Petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice time offended on the Sharp. They get that tower. Now coming around the side of Ackerman there. With the Sharp coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just outrotating them.
Still able to get the kill on the best player. 3 members down. Make that forward. Nicolette all alone, but they don't have any no, but again, no one's able to stop this Newman on blast. And it crashes down. And Newman gets the spin on the wall. Makes that all alone. Taking out Omega. A double kill. This team fight, the disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
A place where the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
We do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you. And for
all
those
of our new viewers, welcome
to the show.
We hope you
And I
enjoy.
hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up from right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The down counter is just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, away the nice stun on the shark. Pokey doing a little damage to the I feel so alive, it's like I'm held down and Nicolette make all the shit on my mind. I feel like I'm televised. I lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the
the sky, still I grind to get me on top. No ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Secured it just barely. Out goes there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the feed. What a save! Secures the kill on him. Doing the team wipe here. Do we get a team wipe?
Wait, there's a Petrify locked on. Gals kicking in the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. The Marquez here.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of beating on the Sharks, but it looks like Team Sexy wants to forward a nice quicker kick, nice knock up, down goes Mara shooting the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. That was messed up on the but Bailey coming in and taking out Hayabusa. Oh my
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the field.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though, getting caught up. Omega gets a stun, in comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there. And do some sort of crazy play, but now he is taking some damage. Zephyr does cover it from Syndicate. Get the kill. Wait a second.
Yeah.
disengage will most likely happen.
Welcome to the North American Squad League.
For those of you who are new, this is the first and currently only Mobile Legends League in all of North America.
A place where the top teams from the United States, Canada, and Mexico get to battle it out over the span of 10 weeks.
What are they battling for, you might ask? To start, 3,000 USD, 50,000 diamonds, but most of all, the right to say our team is the best.
It's been an amazing journey these past 2 seasons with teams like Area 77 and New Wave go home with the glory.
But as there will be 6 teams returning from previous seasons,
we do have some new faces coming in as well, and they look hungry.
For those of you loyal viewers who have been sticking with us through the past 2 seasons, we have to say thank you. And for
all of our new viewers,
welcome to the show.
We hope you
And I
enjoy.
hope you enjoy.
There it is, guys.
That is picture perfect right here.
Middle, Craxy and Hate all alone. Can they defend this push, or are we going to see the sweep for the final? Ziggy flashes in, able to get the stun. Craxy in the back line, does some nice damage. Immortality comes up right under the ultimate of Japanese, and now Hate all alone, not able to defend off. New Wave will take this game. The death counter is just too high, and New Wave takes the champion. Feeling this out, the way the nice stun on the shark, Pokey doing a little damage to the up.
I feel so alive, it's like I'm hypnotized. All the shit on my mind, feel like I'm televised. I've lost touch with reality, that shit killed the vibe. Had me living like I ain't having shit, I'm just getting by. And I'm far from the illest guy, still I grind to get me on top, no ceiling tiles. Yeah, ain't no cap, this an enterprise. Know you feel the vibes, feeling blessed that I'm still alive.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive, I'm going all out.
Secured it just barely. Out goes there by Supra. And they secure the kill on the fan. What a set! Secures the kill on him. Do we get a team wipe here? Do we get a team wipe?
There's the Petrify locked on. Gals keeping the back line. But Sir Bossy will get suppressed and taken out first blood. Going to the side of Area 77. Nicolette keeps on coming in. The Marquis here. And gets the kill.
Yeah, I'm feeling so alive, I feel energized. I used to sit inside, let my feelings hide. Everything I despise, no reason given why. Now I thank God I'm alive, not doing prison time. Yeah, now I'm keeping all the bullshit aside to give me mine. Had to cut a lot of homies off, our goals just in the line. And that shit don't affect me, I was feeling fine. Still inspired to chase this fucking dream like the kid inside me.
Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out. Lost touch with reality. This shit got me forever free. And I'm so far gone now. Feel so alive and going all out.
Now, Yeho coming in, doing a little bit of damage on the shark. But it looks like Team Sexy wants to record a nice flicker kick. Nice knock up. Down goes Molecule to the major damage.
That Franco was really low. He was more focused on lane. We're seeing Uzi getting demolished. Hayabusa. I think that was the best up on the but Baby coming in and taking out Hayabusa.
And kind of have someone keeping vision, and we are seeing a bit of a pick on off the feet.
That's what it looks like.
We'll see Ziggy though getting caught up. Omega gets a stun. In comes Syndicate. He does use that Petrify, but Ziggy is gonna go down. It's another kill there. And do some sort of crazy play. But now he is taking some damage there. He does come in from Syndicate. Wait a second. Ziggy though chasing in, does have the ultimate way to use it. All the down the air strike. This one down, trying to take it with much damage on Japanese though. Taken out, Zia on the map. Zia taking some damage. In comes that ultimate.
The openings, they're not able to find those shooters. Oh, that's going to get caught with another vision find.
With that ultimate trying to make some space. Sharp with an Newman on blast. They are going to get the kill on the 8. Nice counterplay coming from Team Simpsons. Wait a second. Best player with the petrify. Sharp trying to Newman on blast. Will get stopped in his track. And a nice out offender on the Sharp. They take that tower. Now coming around the side of Ackerman there. With the dark coming on the Sharp.
Right now, they're being punished for it because Insomniacs is just out open.
Welcome back to the NASL. We're back here. The teams are ready. We got the Simpsons versus Ackerman. We've been waiting for a long time and we're here now. Private, Firsky, are you guys ready for these two to go at it?
Whew. Yeah, finally about time. I'm excited. I'm ready for this. You know, I'm ready to see what Ackerman is gonna do, and like we're here, we're ready to fight, and I'm ready to see some gameplay. What about you, Private?
I am definitely ready. Both teams here are very exciting, especially because, I mean, there's very little that has been standing in Ackerman's way as they just came onto the scene here, taking over the place of that, the hole in our hearts left by Area 77. Ackerman is in there to kind of fill that void right now. Are Simpsons going to be able to stop or to be able to prevent where other teams have failed in the last 2 weeks against Ackerman and dominating performances by them? We're about to find out.
Most definitely. We're going to be getting into the bans and the picks right now. We're going to see what the possibility they're going to go with here. You know, it's been a minute. We've been relaxing. We know we had our tea. We've used the restroom. And I think these teams have as well. So, I don't know. Both these teams are heavy hitters, Private.
Definitely are with the area Ackerman, the players,
Sir, what's your command?
Lord
Your
T,
team is banned.
Yato, all these familiar faces on this team have always been kind of cream of the crop, top of the mountain, the pinnacle of NA competition here. So it's no surprise, but with the addition of Zia to the roster, it seems like it has ignited a fire in Ackerman. And on the other side of that, we have the Simpsons, something to prove here. Fortunately, not able to compete in the NACT. So looking at the squad league as kind of their redemption, their way forward, and looking to try to put that etch that into stone here against Ackerman. And we do see some typical bans here, especially these very micro-intensive characters being banned out in the Ling and the Fanny.
Yeah, we see 1-1 also picking up that, getting put on that ban list as well, which is definitely normal to see. Last game we saw some free 1-1 space usage, and I just wonder how they're gonna play, how Ackerman is gonna hold up, if they're gonna what they're gonna ban, are they gonna see anything different? Like I said, is Fredlin, he's been on everybody's kind of watch list now that he's available to be picked. Will he get a ban, or will he be getting used? That is something I'm wondering. Will anyone use him today, since we are technically a game short, but I'm wondering if it's gonna work.
Yeah. Definitely true.
Among
And
the planes exists.
you know, their bans, if you guys are like new to, you know, like actual Mobile Legends, these are like roughly typical bans. Besides, like, you know, the Ling and the Fanny. The Ling was definitely targeted at Cold World. You know, he's just a monster at Ling, and as Private was saying, he's just so farm dependent that I'm not quite sure right now if it is a good play, but they did ban him out of there. And I was actually about to say that the Valentina is still there. The Julian in our last series actually got skipped on all of them. Like he made it through and was able to be picked.
Yeah, Julian, we still, oh, there it is. There's the Faramis. Gets tossed out of there right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so we do still have Julian out there. We did see him use with great success by our first match of their Team First Blood. Like, an absolutely amazing job. And I really love him in that jungle role. So maybe that's something that we're going to see going forward, just because, like I said, I have qualms with him in those side lanes or as a mage, taking up spots there where he's not able to kind of get that momentum and that movement all around. Beatrix still such a strong, versatile pick. The damage, the type of damage, how she can output that, so strong during the mid to late game there. So it's definitely gonna be a force to be reckoned with. But in an answer, we're seeing this Masha picked up.
Oh, Masha and a Julian. We were just saying how Masha was used not as effectively as she was in the last series that we did, but you know, this is a whole different team, and it is Hi, I'm T, and we already know T is a monster with the Masha. So you're definitely going to see a different play. If you've been watching the series for this whole time we've been casting today, you will see a different Masha being played, and that fast, aggressive, fast-paced, pushing towers, going around, you know, and getting and picking up heroes in their jungle. You're going to see a lot of that going on, especially with their skills selected. I'm excited to see this. It looked like Cold World maybe go Akai, but we'll see. Oh, went with the good old ball man. You can't go wrong there.
I mean, that's objective base right there, you know. A lot of people have been saying Diggy, like with Blacklist and Diggy, you know, like it's like they're not doing good with them. When we seen the other game, I don't think they even won with Diggy. So I'm wondering if Diggy's going to be a learning curve for a lot of teams.
Well, Ethereal picked Diggy with pardon me, with an Akai, with a Masha. So you basically, not only did you have a Diggy, but you had no real damage except for a singular Bruno on their team. So they didn't really have, they had a way to kind of protect Diggy, but they weren't as a team able to transition that into enough damage in the early game to offset first blood. So I mean, and here we definitely don't see a problem with the early game damage. We've got early, we've got late with the Beatrix. Diggy does prevent a lot of those picks, the Atlas, the Wan, which is already banned out. So I mean, we'll see how they make it work. I'm of the mind that Diggy should be a counter to something here. Maybe we're looking at that enhanced chains that Yato's gonna be able to pull on the Julian, and we're gonna try to prevent that, which will give us time to kind of engage. But then that means we're definitely gonna maybe look for some type of engagement from these next two picks. As we move in to the second round, the second half of the banning phase here.
Interesting.
Yeah, we look at Esmeralda is banned, and it looked like we got a Claude ban as well. Now it's coming down to that last ban with 30-second go. And we're going to see who Zia is going to take off the map. Will it be a target ban, or will it be something that's just universally known to, you know, get out the way and just so we can just get them off the board in general?
Yeah. And I mean, that's just the definition behind an Esmeralda. I mean, if you already have a Masha, it could be put into the role of a roam, or it could be put in the role of an XP side, you know, the side lane. So banning out that Esmeralda just secures either or if need be, you know. And then go and target him for that Claude. You know, Claude's like probably the only gold lane that I would say is a contender against Via.
That I like these bans from the side of Ackerman. I think that this Masha actually might be going to the XP lane just because of the bans that came out there. Because what I was looking at, it depends on how they play this. I mean, they're making it flexible, which is the problem here right now. Because if the Masha was going into the XP lane, I think Esmeralda and Uranus would have been my picks there too as well. Because you're gonna if you can clear out your lane quicker, you're gonna be able to kind of dive through that back line to start cutting lanes, to be picking up minions behind her, and start getting into the fight a lot quicker to make those early turtle fights a 4v5 where Masha's gonna have to either make a decision to either clean up her lane or go help in the fight, and she's not going to be able to engage or invade as much if you have somebody else pushing her lane or cutting it. And we're seeing a very familiar Bruno. Zia has been favoring this so far, and the reason that Zia has been able to shine so far on Ackerman with a lot of these marksmen, especially the real heavy hitter ones that don't have a ton of range, is because the way that Ackerman plays is to make that very solid front line, which prevents a lot of them from being able to get to him and that back line. And we're definitely going to see if there's an answer for them on the side of the Simpsons.
Definitely. I mean, I think they're trying to respond with it, you know, like either I see the Sicilian and the pack here. I mean, I feel like either one of these are still solid, great picks. It looks like that maybe the Simpsons is going with more of like a late game comp, like late game control objective comps. Because if they make it into the late game, the likelihood of a Ballmon losing a Lord or being able to do any of that, I mean, it's just next to none.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to be a side lane Masha. Definitely the reason for those bans on the side. So now you're going to have a Paquito into the Masha. I do like Paquito. Paquito and Belmont on the side of the Simpsons going to enforce that early game and hopefully be able to help maneuver Simpsons into this late game where Sicilian damage and the Beatrix damage is going to be able to take off there. What kind of comps are you guys liking here?
Oh man, I'm very personally conflicted because there's no technical main tank, but you have thick tanky characters like Balmond and Masha respectively for their teams that can do things, and Paquito who can that can get health back and do things like that. So you got people that can sustain themselves through the team fight. So I wonder how they're going to go about being initiating, or it's going to be all about picking off someone and then starting a 4v5 there. But it looks like we're about to get started and everyone is going to their respective lanes, and we might not have an invade or anything. We'll see how this goes.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting what they decide to do here. You know, like we can already see that Paquito had to help the Balmond clear the lane, or clear his red buff to get a little bit of a lead on the Julian. You know, his clear is crazy. Lilia's clear is crazy. I think that the side of Simpsons might be missing a lot of lane control.
Yeah, this brings it back. This Rafaela and Bruno pick is shades of, I want to say, like 3-4 seasons ago, when Bruno used to be in the meta. You've got this great engagement and disengage potential on that Rafaela for Zia as we move into this late game, and you can already see him just the way he's able to land and keep those crits high. Right now, Nate in a little bit of trouble, taking some damage early. Ooh. Doing a little bit of a dance here for Yatta. Oh, with the pop-up. With those enhanced chains on the Cold World. Not sure if they're going to be able to get or secure the kill here. Cold World very quickly able to get out of that. A little bit more of an engagement down here at bottom. So they're just going to have to back off a bit.
Yeah, and one of the things I want to bring up earlier. Ooh, something might be going down here, Private.
Yeah, we just see CJ is gonna have to disengage there. They wanted to have a little fight there. Looks like they were just trying to kind of secure the minions. It's interesting to see a Balmond on kind of the defense here, not able to, like, usually it's him the one that's invading here and trying to steal the jungle there. T getting a little bit of a punch there from Blazier, who's trying to check that bush, and we have our first turtle starting now.
The Cold World seems to, his mind seems a little foggy. He's just,
oh, yeah, Blazer in a little bit of trouble, does get that auto attack taken away there, and this is a 4v2 right now. Fortunately, unfortunately for the Simpsons, Diggy not in the position to kind of help with the contest of this, as he was trying to put some pressure on that top lane, and doesn't really look like there's going to be much that Cold World's going to be able to do. Look at this great job of zoning out Cold World while they're trying to take this turtle, but unfortunately they do reset it. We do have a chain onto Blazer, who's trying to go in there right now. We have the Bat Feast activated right now, and Cold World able to pick it up. But are they going to get a death here? And here comes Lord T. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of here. It's going to be a one-for-one trade in favor of the Simpsons, and they pick up a turtle with that as well. So great pickup by them to answer that.
That was the longest turtle fight I've ever seen in history.
They took their time with that turtle, but that's sometimes what we was talking about earlier with the earlier games, where you have to be patient. You kind of have to see what's going on, and you got to wait for the right timing, and that's exactly what they were doing. And then you see the benefits from just waiting it out. Though it was very kind of getting anxiety ridden when you see everyone in that circle just trying to see who's going to make the first move.
Yeah.
And it just... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're okay. Go for it, man.
I was gonna say, like, the patience by the Simpsons, they knew, and I was even explaining that Damien wasn't in a position to help them yet. He was running all the way from the top, and Simpsons made sure to wait. They were baiting around, they weren't engaging, and as soon as Damien came in there, and speaking of which, he is gonna have to activate that time journey to get out of this gank from CJ on this Julian. But for that turtle fight, they were very patient. As soon as Damien got into position, they went at it, and right now we use that holy baptism, a beautiful combo with that enhanced chains to pop him up, and then a holy baptism to keep him locked into the ground. It makes promise easy pickings for the side of Ackerman.
And now that allows them to grab a lot of it, shed a lot of the gold off of this tower and Golden Lane, and probably even take it here. Frisky.
Yeah, I was just about to say that you hit the nail right on the head, of where they were able to get not only the tower, but they got also that gold, that extra gold shield from that tower, and that's just going to keep feeding them. You don't want that to happen with the Bruno and the Julian getting extra gold. That's what you don't want, because they're going to be able to get their core items faster, and that can snowball into something ugly as you see them trying to engage top right now.
Gosh.
Yeah, promising a little bit of trouble. Holy Baptism does go wide. Time Journey does come in, but maybe not needed there. That means that we're not going to have it for this turtle fight. So yeah, as soon as they saw that, they immediately went for turtle fight. They know that Damien doesn't have that time journey. Oh, CJ is able to pick up that second turtle, and we do see that reverse time onto CJ, but it's not going to be enough. The rest of the team, very wisely, this is what we were talking about earlier. Get the turtle, get your objective, and then disengage. Oh, Blazer in a little bit of trouble. Does get popped up, latches on, and takes down the Rafaela. Promise follows there, so it's a 1-for-1, 1-for-2 actually right now, as Ackerman's able to answer this very quickly.
Yeah, the Simpsons with this Diggy pick, they just don't have a front line. And that's why Glacier is constantly going down. That is why, you know, like, again, Promise is not able to survive. You know, the Diggy's not able to keep up with the amount of pressure that the side of Ackerman is giving.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you don't have that main tank. You don't have no one that can initially take on that damage. And currently, it doesn't look like no one is building to prepare themselves to take that damage. As you see, an ult slowly hitting.
And we do have to activate that conceal play to get away from them. And this is just a strategical class in ganks and pushing towers. They come down here in full force, 4 people down into this bottom tower, zoning out the rest of the Simpsons while Dia's able to get those crit strikes onto the tower and take it down very quickly. Oh, CJ gets taken down with a part of the batteries. Yato is going to follow up closely behind, but now flanking is the rest of Team Ackerman. But a nice time journey is put down by Damien to help his team disengage here. So they are still in it, still putting the damage onto it, as right now Ackerman's going to have to disengage.
Yeah, we only sitting at a 1K gold lead right now, so it's nothing too crazy. It's still in everyone's favor right now. Anyone can take this, though it looks like Ackerman is still getting that jungle control. They're getting all the things so they can have that slight vision, that extra bonus move speed, things like that, controlling the jungle. And it looks like they're about to get ready and set up for this next turtle. You already see 4 down in the lower half, so I wonder if they're going to actually circle in and get that mid tower, or will they just go ahead and secure this turtle again?
Yeah, and unfortunately right now, I mean, Bruno he's just not as item dependent as Beatrix. Beatrix already has the Bladed Despair, so she's going to be able to do some decent damage if we can kind of organize this in a way to kind of open that up for her. We're still waiting on Sicilian right now. He was already able to build up that Clock of Destiny. We are pushing onto the mid tower, so they are able to open it up there. Oh, Blazer's still getting caught. Man, I'm going to tell you, that enhanced chain has a very tricky hitbox that really can frustrate the heck out of me sometimes.
Now, I'm sure it's doing the same thing to them when they get hit by it, because it's been getting each and every one of them each time, and it looks like I wonder, like, we've been talking about Julian not even getting banned this actually all day today, and it looks like people are going to use him. They're going to pick him up, and we're seeing how versatile and how useful he can do to set up, to make beautiful sets in the team fights, or to even just isolate someone with slowing them down, if not just popping them up all together, and then the team just attacking them all at once.
Yeah, and I mean, the Simpsons aren't giving up, you know, like they're putting in a lot of pressure, already taking down a mid tower turret. They just have to find more gaps in the side of Ackerman to be able to take more than what they have right now. But Ackerman's being real tough, Private.
Yeah, we just seen that Rafaela gets taken down there. They weren't able to check that bush fast enough as well, so that it came out as a surprise. Oh my God, Nate, what were you doing?
Wow.
What were you thinking going into that bush? They were in the wrong neighborhood there for some reason. Blazer's gonna get popped up by this enhanced change, and then we do see that time coming out. Blazer, and then in the background, Lord T gets hung up onto this right now, but they are pushing onto this tower. There's not much that they can do. Cobalt is spinning to win. Is he going to be able to make it out there? The damage from Yato enough to kind of ward him off, so they go down 3 players there, only 2 left, which is going to open up this Lord play for them.
And we do see Zia picking up the red buff. So stealing it from Balmon. Balmon not even going to attempt to contest this Lord. I mean, it's going to be looking tough for the Simpsons right now.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how Simpsons going to come back to this. It's still, I don't want to say, it's only about a 4K difference. But it's all it takes is one team fight to turn around, and as we can see, they still have the fight in them to make plays and to do things and not give up. I mean, they did take their mid tower, so I wonder if they're going to capitalize on this, have Sin, let Beatrice stay down to handle the Lord, and maybe they can just contest this actual mid tower, but it looks like it might go down.
Yeah, they are kind of pushing on it right now. Watch Lord T as he is just having a way right now. He's able to disengage there, but he is 4-1 right now. Zia's 0-5. 5 assists on Zia, so he's the one creating and putting on this damage, but Lord T is the menace right now on the side of Ackerman here. That as soon as his engagements, watch the angles that he's able to find in all of these fights to get to that back line, to be able to take down Blazer, to be able to find those picks on the Nate, and especially on the Promise. Holy baptism that goes on the Promise there and make short work of him, and we are down to an inhibitor on the top lane right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're everywhere, but while all of this going down, we do see Blazer down here at the bottom trying to make little micro plays of being able to possibly take another turret, but doesn't look like he commits enough to be able to take that bottom turret.
Yeah, if he would have started on that lane as soon as it came down and then teleported, he might have been all right. Nice vision here by Lord T here in that bush. And really right now we're seeing about a 4K, a little under 4K, about 3K gold lead on the side of Ackerman here. I mean, they're still not out. They just need to kind of tighten up on some of those mistakes that I see them making.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, like I said, it's just a few little mistakes, but Ackerman has been able to they've just been able to run around, and especially with that the speed boost, they can get around together so much and so quick as a team. They're using it just to cycle through, take towers after tower after tower at the objective, and they just can't honestly keep up with the speed that Ackerman has right now.
And I was actually surprised that they played a Balmon into a Julian, just because, like Private said it earlier, like just one little knock-up kind of like stops and puts everything in the track, and Balmon's not able to do too much, and they have a lot of control on the side of Ackerman, and we can see why the Simpsons has only been able to take one turret.
What? Members, T is on the run trying to get back the best so he can tell the story of how his team got caught. And right now we are pushing into the mid tower. It does. Oh, look, he's charging in there. Are they going to be able to take him down? Lord T on his last bar of health is trying to run in. The Sanguine Claws do go wide there. And unfortunately, it does stop the pull onto the Lord. Now we have Lord T down. Look at this turn of events. We have 3 seconds left on Yato. Are they going to be able to pull this into it? 1, 2 players up for Ackerman right now. We do see the Batskis coming up, and the rest of them are going to disengage. But a lesson not to get lazy around the Simpsons, as all it took was one play.
Literally one bow combo literally set that all up for them, and it came at the perfect time because you have minions pushing bottom and top. They push mid, so they're able to get at least literally like 4 or 5 towers in one play, in one push, and oh my god.
I want to state something, because like you look at the side of Ackerman, like they have no magic defense, or if they do, it's hardly any, so like that one Sanguine Claw and then into Sicilian's just regular abilities just melted them. And I mean, Sicilian's what, 1 item for being able to completely be popping off? I mean, he kind of already is.
Yeah, and that is pretty lethal for them right now. I mean, if that isn't telling you right now you need to start building magic defense, I don't know what is. Like a beautiful play, because like that's the thing, is if you kind of spread out your defensive there, that probably wouldn't have been as lethal, those Sanguine Claws into all of that damage, but it was. They were able to kind of capitalize on that. We do have this Lord kind of rushing in here right now. They're going to make pretty short work of it. Not able to get too much on the side. We just see Keto up at the top trying to get that tower down. We have the bottom tower on its last leg. Blazier able to get out to safety here. Oh, CJ coming in with that enhanced chains, not able to capitalize on it. And we have ourselves a game here. One more inhibitor on the side of Ackerman, but on the side of the Simpsons, we still have all three up.
Yeah, it was that magic defense was definitely in key, what you said, because now we see them scrambling to try to get that magic defense up on our attack, but it may be too late as we see these team fights already starting again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an insane play, you know, like and that comes down to just the ability to know your distance to be able to utilize the singling claws, you know. It's kind of like when people play Franco, you're always checking bushes. Like, that's what you have to do. And Nate absolutely secured a really good play there, and then the whole team was able to follow up with no problem.
Yeah, well, and that's what kind of separates those lucky plays from something that's organized, is he caught them in there. That's what you're doing. You're checking bushes with a Sicilian. That's what you always do. But not just did he check it and catch them, but before the Sanguis even closed, as soon as they gave vision, the team pounced on that. You had the damage from the Beatrix. You had Paquito running in there with that knockout strike. So much damage happened at one moment that Ackerman was not able to respond. I don't think any team would have been able to respond.
No, it was
how
quick.
Yeah, it was just so fast. And then we had a cleanup job. We're lucky. I mean, the only reason that that Lord T survived is I think he was on his last health bar because living to tell the story. But right now we have a little bit of a race here to see who's going to be picking up this Lord.
And I mean, you could see everyone on the side of Ackerman was being cautious. No one wanted to face check a push. No one wanted to overextend, because like one play like that, and that's all it's sold. And then this is what comes into key factor right now. Oh, we do see a concealed play, maybe.
Yeah, we see though they're coming in. The Lord T does latch on to Promise. Look at this. This is just what we were talking about. Look at how fast he's able to latch on. Promise is trying, but not able to get away from there and gets taken down by Lord T there. But this first Lord does go to the side of who got that
the second Lord. The second Lord, actually. Yeah.
Coldworld able to pick up that Lord right now. So I mean, they're able to get the Lord, but maybe a little bit of a misplay there. I mean, there's not. It's not like what we saw with Ethereal, where they got a Lord or they got a turtle and then kind of stood around. They were mid-fight, and Ackerman already had a very good position on them. So I mean, this is kind of what you need to think about with some of these objective plays. I mean, is it worth losing your entire team? You all kind of need to be on the same play. Either we're going for the Lord or we're going to go try to take it down. Oh, and there goes another Sanguine Claws from onto CJ up there. Takes him down to half health.
Oh yeah, and they was able to at least even though that was, I guess you could say it was they kind of lost in that play, but with just the empowered minions and the Lord, it bought them enough time for them to all revive, and they couldn't actually capitalize on that because they had to go deal with that Lord. And I think it just canceled each other out. And like I said, they won't get another amazing play like that again. They learned their lesson. They're not all going into a bush at one time anymore. They're all playing it smart and safe. So now, what will the Simpsons do? They had that hat trick, and we wonder if they're going to be able to keep this momentum with them, or are they just going to fold? I'm excited right now.
I gotta give a shout out, man. Like Ackerman, Zia, and then combined with CXJ, like they secured both the blue and the red buff on both sides. So like the micro plays are insane right now. And Ackerman, but a concealed play.
Yeah, we do see them kind of running in here. Oh, but they should have gone for Zia, but they didn't. They're going for CXJ, able to take down the jungler. I guess that's just as good. 62 seconds left here. I mean, oh man, I would have loved, I feel like if you would have taken out Zia there, if everybody would have had the same target in mind, I feel like the Zia play would have been a little bit better. Coldworld gonna go into this bush, does catch a soccer ball to the face as he comes into the blue buff here.
Yeah, look like everybody just getting ready right now. Everybody, you can tell the tension is up. They're all trying to get ready and get set up for the Lord. They're already circling down back to it. And we got the minion wave push on the Ackerman side, giving them more push towards it. So Simpsons have to reset in a sense. They have to clear up their lanes. And if clearing up their lanes, will they be able to even go contest the Lord? What will they do, especially with Masha roaming around up there? What is going to be doing? What is going to be have to be done to protect themselves? And it looks like, you know, Paquito is up top and trying to actually clear out the lanes, even though we actually have the Lord is about to drop right now.
Yeah, well, this is what you want to do as an XP laner. You're going to try to clear out that lane and try to get back to the Lord, but it does look like there might actually be a push happening over there. Both these teams' win conditions, I feel like, are trying to take out these marksmen, and that has been the key to these successful engagements so far. So we're going to be watching to see how Lord T, if he's going to be able to find the angle to kind of latch onto this Beatrix, as we have the Lord down to about a 2/3 health right now, and it is going to be reset. So both teams taking being very patient about it. Now we're going to start up again. Look at how Lord T, so quiet, just
this is the waiting bait.
Waiting. He is waiting.
What they're trying to. Oh no, we do see Nate. He's going to latch on to Nate. We do see the reverse time on the Lord T, but we're putting a lot of damage on him. So that we do have the Lord coming down 10% health.
Oh,
to take it down here. But look at the rest of the damage coming down. A suppress on CXJ. Kush is going to get taken down there very quickly. It is a 4v5, but they only lose one for that Lord. I think that is kind of the price you pay for another Luminous Lord.
I just want to say that, like, I talked about them not having magic defense, and now a lot of them have picked up some magic defense, you know?
Nothing but magic defense.
Where Wrath picked up not only Radiant, but also Immortality, which was like, that was clutch right there. They did pop a lot of Immortalities on the side of Simpsons, but again, you can still see they have 3 Immortalities standing onto Cold World, onto Damien. Oh my! Maybe a Facebook check?
Yeah, they're trying, but I'm not sure if they're really wanting to go into this. As we were looking at those builds, that super complicated build from Masha with the 3 Guardian helmets. It's basically the easiest hero to build. We do have the Lord coming down here. We are going to try the engagement here. Right now we have the time journey coming in. That might be a little bit too early as Lord T on the front line here. They are able to take that down, but now down goes the Lord there, half health for most of the team as we are moving on to the mid turret. It looks like they might be able to tie it up right now. No, they have all the inhibitors down for this base is wide open on the side of the Simpsons here. And Cold World a little too deep here on the cushion.
Oh, the
4-man knockup of that enhanced chains takes down Beatrix, takes down Cold World, and this might be all she wrote for the side of the Simpsons as Ackerman is pushing in onto this core. That's a wrap. First game going over to Ackerman.
Now, that was a lot of base damage that just got put down in like a 0.1 second.
That was worth the wait. Now that is how you start the game. That was a game. The back and forth in that, but that's also let you know to never give up, to never stop, to just keep doing what you need to do to win. And that was amazing by both teams. I mean, they both did what they needed to do, but it looks like it just came down to getting those objectives. And that actually it came down to that 4-3-4-man pop-up right there at the end. And he was able to get everyone with that one pop-up. And I think, like you said, they used that ultimate just a little bit too early, and they wasn't able to come out with the win on that.
No, and I would have, like, Private pointed it out, and I was like blown away when I took a second guess at that. What in the world? Masha? How many helmets can you put on this chick's head? Like, what do you mean 3 Guardian helmets and a curse helm? Like, yo, could you imagine? Could you imagine just a Masha walking around with 3 helmets on, you know? 4.
4 helmets, just in case helmet. Oh
yeah, sadly, I feel like that concealed play that we saw where they were able to take down Kush kind of it put them in a precarious position for the next Lord as soon as the next Lord came up, they didn't have that conceal play up. They weren't able. Masha was in a perfect position. As soon as she latched on, it's almost a no-lose position for the Masha there, because he's hiding in a bush. He's waiting either for the Beatrix or waiting for the Sicilian to get close enough for her to thunderclap into. And after that, it doesn't matter if your Masha dies, but she doesn't even, because you've got 3 bars of health, and what they do is they get baited into an engagement, wasting their abilities on the Masha, while this Lord is being taken by Ackerman there, by the huge damage of Bruno. And like, it was basically a glass cannon, no defense whatsoever, full build on Bruno. And if you can't take him down within the early seconds of an engagement, you're gonna have a rough time as a team there, and you need to have an answer for that. But we're gonna find out if they indeed do have an answer here as we move into the second game.
I mean, probably out the get-go, get Masha out of there. You know, that Masha was a nuisance. Just finding all of those angles and getting into the back line was just huge. And one of the biggest critiques that I can say about Ackerman is that, like, Zia did really good with the Bruno, right? But their team just kept taking the kills and not feeding their gold lane. You know, like that could have changed the tide and made the game go by even faster if Zia was able to secure a lot of those actual kills.
Yeah, that's just what it came. Like you said, they could have swung in a different direction a lot quicker if they would have fed the goal lane appropriately, like they should have, and not make it look like it was almost like they were being more of an assist, more of a support character, because for a while it was like 005, 006 for your marksman, when that shouldn't be the case. It should be literally the opposite of that. But in the end, it did work out for them, and it doesn't look like there hasn't been any targeted banning yet. But we do see Ballman now off the board, and I wonder if we're going to see, will there be a Julian off the board? I wonder how they will go if the Simpsons will learn from their last game, but they will go with the Valentina, and we're going to see what's happened with these last 2 bans. What do you think about this, Private?
Yeah, it's I definitely feel like Masha needs to be taken out, or there needs to be an answer for it. That is why they were able to get so much done with the Bruno. While we were talking just about how Bruno wasn't able to get any of the kills, because that's by the time that they noticed that Bruno was doing so much damage to them, they had to peel away. The Masha would engage there. Once the Masha engaged on the team, the rest of Ackerman moved into position to where there was somebody protecting Zia, and Zia was able to just lob off just damaging shots. And by the time Simpsons realized all this damage and where it was coming from, they would try to move away, but you still have that Masha there who was able to clean it up. And that's why the kind of kills fluctuated in the way that they did onto Lord T instead of Bruno. So I mean, it was a good play, a good decision on their end. Even though you don't want to force closing the distance with the Bruno, because like I said, he doesn't really have that great of a range. But we are going to see Zia picking up this Wan, and we already know, even from last season, how dangerous he is. But a great answer on the side of Simpsons with a nice high and an E.
That was the fastest Diggy pick I've
Boy,
ever seen in my life.
I heard that hoot before anything happened.
Boy, hoot into the pick, dude.
Right?
Who picks like that? Yeah, I mean, they did just do a good, really good counter here, Esmeralda into this Dairoth.
Yeah. Into the Dairoth, which means that they're going to have probably a little bit the early game, definitely for that lane, going to go onto the side of Blazier. Depends on how we're going to play it. The Diggy here, a great pick into the Akai. It just depends on how we're going to be able to flex on these lanes or put the pressure on. I'm seeing that carry ban makes me think that these next 2 picks are going to be pretty tanky for the side of Ackerman.
Yeah.
That'd be the smart thing to do, I would say. And with that, but they still have to, Simpsons. They're having to figure out who to ban, but yet who they're gonna have to pick for that. Julian, we finally seen that Julian ban, and that's what I was waiting for because I don't think no one wanted to see Julian running wild again. I mean, I would love it because it's beautiful to see, but going against that is not a fun thing.
Nah, never. And like you were saying, getting the carry out of there again, definitely two tanky people, but who could possibly be a tanky jungle right now that they would really want to go with? I've heard like Thamuz is like no longer like good in the jungle anymore, but maybe, I mean, it always comes down to who's playing the actual hero.
Well, it depends on what you have to supplement the Thamuz. He's got his biggest weakness right now is his mobility, and once he kind of goes in, like you're one of those all-in type of engagements, kind of like Phobius with his demonic force. Once you activate it, once you go in, it's like, all right, guys, we need to make something happen here because I am not going to be able to walk out of this of my own accord here. So I mean, it could work, but like I said, there is some mobility issues which might be helped by having the Diggy there. We're gonna see what they have in mind because we're still waiting for that jungle and possibly a mage pick. I'm assuming Diggy's going to be the roam and not a mage, but I've been proven wrong before here. I think our last, the first series had a Diggy mage, and, which was probably one of the problems with that composition in the first place.
Yeah, like I said, we've been seeing a lot of characters picked from, like I said, from the first series of games earlier today that totally went the opposite direction. Now when you see how these characters can be played in the capable hands of people who know how to use their full kits in and out and know how to use them against their proper opponents. So like you said, I'm wondering now what Ackerman's going to do. We got CXJ and Gal's Cutie trying to see what they're going to do. They might wait to the last minute, or they're probably just deliberating on who to actually pick. And you see now, oh man, will this be an actual pick or be a last minute?
Your team is picking.
Okay then. What do you think about that?
We've got. I love the Cho pick, as we've seen, especially in NA. The tank Cho, going to be used to kind of get in and behind to disrupt the lines with that Jeet Kune Do to pop up the team and then isolate one of the players. Here, probably going to be a Promise, probably going to be Nate. Honestly, it could be anybody with the way that Way of the Dragon works, with him being able to kick one of the Simpsons back into his team, where they can all just like launch on top of him and pretty much kill probably anybody on that team, sans Cold World. So a good pickup by them, and then this Lance, which is going to be able to negate a lot of damage here and be able to close the distance with a lot of these members. I really feel like Damien is going to have to shine here for the Simpsons to come out ahead here.
I was actually going to say the exact same thing. Like, the Franco is going to be their key play here. Like, and it could also be Cold World as well, because I mean, they have two of the best tanks that lock people down, you know. Like, look, Cold World to Kai being able to hit the heavy spin and put him on a wall. Damien there being able to hit the Franco ult. Like, this is gonna be maybe a hard game for Ackerman.
5 seconds till the enemy
Oh yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna come down to those, how like that. It's gonna come down to if they get caught by those hooks, if they get caught by getting by that spin and just getting stuck in a wrong place, wrong time area. But nevertheless, you can't leave out Ackerman. We know what Ackerman can do. They actually they got the advantage. They're up one game. They're feeling good. Now it's also gonna come down to if who's gonna make the best plays out of this. And as we see, they're starting off simple, slow, steady. No one's engaging. No one's actually trying to invade, and everyone just taking their lane.
As you say that, we have two members.
Yeah, they move it down.
Here. Might not be in a good position.
Oh my
Damien
God.
does get stunned here.
Oh.
The first time on them, and they are going to be able to take him up. A little bit of dancing there by Gal's Cutie. I mean, they immediately cleared lane. Two of them left Nate at the lane to try to clear the rest of it, and both of them came down. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication by Simpsons, not letting him know. What are you doing?
What
Nate? Goes right in front of Gal's Cutie there. Might be a little bit of a lag problem there. Hook does go wide, is able to get away, but stepping in front of putting Gal's Cutie, or you put Gal's Cutie in between you and your tower.
Yeah, right.
So
I was like,
an interesting walk there.
If there was any levels higher, that would have been death. But we're still at level 2, and we're seeing already these ambitious plays going ahead. And like you said, now we look like we got 3
Oh my
spots,
God, look at
but
the wave.
woo!
Oh yeah, Blazer trying his
The
best to
wait
maybe
and
put some
bait.
damage on the Lord T before he gets taken down, and he is going to be taken down by CJ
Yo.
there. And man, what?
Did you not
A beautiful
see?
bait.
Did you
That
not
bait.
see CXJ like literally hide behind the gold tree? Playing, he was like playing hide and seek, and then also like Lord T just being able to go out there and just bait, you know, and then utilize the battle spell sprint to get in and out. So that was such a clutch play.
Yeah, that was smart. on
Yeah.
their part.
Yeah, but we do have 4v4 here at the first tower here. We do have a real world manipulation, but that might be a little bit of trouble here. Nate is going to try to disengage here. Gal's Cutie is right on top of the real world manipulation. Does come down here, but it's not going to be enough to save Nate as he gets taken down quite early here. Damien on the run here, and unfortunately, they were really kind of banking on that Eve ult and then kind of got upset there. Blazer now going to use that flicker to try to get away. I'm not sure he's going to be able to try to get away. Going to be able to get away from Gal's Cutie Cho here. And right now, early game definitely going in favor to Ackerman.
Yeah, they just literally used the turtle as bait to get those kills, and they backed off, and no one actually even engaged on the turtle. So I wonder, we look like we got a little bit of zoning going up top with just going to get those creeps, get those minions, and making that wave fall right and crash into the actual tower, and then maybe they might go to that turtle. But it's looking like I said, Team Ackerman is really on it now.
Yeah, I feel like maybe a little bit of a mispositioning by a Nate there, kind of coming down from the bottom of the turtle lane instead of coming from the top. It really made him a sitting duck for the rest of the team as they were able to find him quite quickly. Do over time journey coming out here, and the Blazer is able to pick up that first turtle, and down comes the real world manipulation to kind of secure the escape of the rest of his teammates. So a great pickup by the Simpsons there.
I will tell you that the Simpsons have very great secure on, you know, like turtles and stuff like that. So we'll see what's going down here. We do have a pause going down. So we're gonna see what is possibly going. I don't know, maybe a phone died, or I don't know. It's been a long night.
Yeah. What I have noticed from the side of the Simpsons is kind of the placement of those very critical roles. Nate, the mage, the marksman. If you want to have a hope against a team like Ackerman, you need to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to your positioning. We just saw a little bit of an example of that as Nate came in on that Eve, kind of trying to slide in from the mid lane, walking up towards the tower, basically a huge kill zone, when you kind of want your mage to be sitting in the background toward like more toward your buff on the background there, so that you have at least that front line in front of you. Because as soon as Gal's Cutie saw Yves, charged in there with that Jeet Kundo, didn't care if he was going to get taken down, because his objective was to take down one of the squishier players, and they succeeded on that.
So after the reset, it looks like everything is hopefully back to normal. Everybody's good. Phones are charged. And now we are looking at they setting up for bottom. Whoa! Deleted.
A nice time journey by Yato there does get activated there, but that means they're not going to have the time journey for this next push.
No, they go,
of minions here. They do have, it is a 3v4 here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to push this now. Zia is dancing around his tower, not afraid. You do see a wide iron hook go down. Maybe should have waited for that slow to come down, trying to take down all of this gold. Ackerman not really able to do anything to defend it. Promise. Getting me a little bit worried there. Is able to disengage there, so they get all of the gold from that. Not able to take the whole tower, but definitely putting them back to even with Ackerman.
Yo, Promise is putting a tent in every bush, man. That shotgun is dangerous. You better watch out. Promise is like, I own every bush, man. You walk into it, you might be met with a shotgun.
Yeah, I think that's gonna put that on the list, like you said. Now they're gonna be a little bit more worrisome because they literally deleted so fast, and now just look, they're trying to circle. They might try to come down and finish off this bottom tower. Even though they got the gold off of it, it is so low, and I know that's tempting for them to go ahead and take it. But also, this turtle just appearing. So will they go collapse on it? Will they actually go for tower? What will be the play that's being made? What do you think, Private?
Well, you know that Ackerman's going to go ahead and try to push some pressure onto the bottom to try to set up this turtle play. We do see a 4v4. Oh, we're going to come in here right away. Cold World comes in with that heavy spin onto Kush, who is not going to be able to get out of the way of that wall. And there goes a real world manipulation. Is able to zone out the rest of Team Ackerman, which right now is opening it for the Simpsons to take this turtle at the cost of Blazer.
I also want to point out that Ackerman, like when they lose like a key objective like that, like the moment that someone went down, they immediately knew to kind of focus and switch some things up and go. Ooh.
Yeah, we just hear a little bit of that phantom. Phantom execution comes in right now. They are being slowed up. Look at all this. They already are able to push into these towers, but meanwhile, up at the top, having a little bit of trouble with this Esmeralda. Lord T basically just having his way around here as Blazers struggling to try to clear out the lane. But we do see a lot of pressure going on.
That was crazy.
Falling Star Moon is going to be able to take down two as Cold World and Promise get taken down during their escape. They are trying to latch on, but Esmeralda is going to be way too fast for them to be able to engage on.
Yeah, that's the shoes difference, man. You know, having different types of shoes, but they're still going.
We do see that real world manipulation coming out right now. Not able to catch everyone. Maybe a little bit of jumping the gun there. I mean, it did its job, but now we see at the top lane, we are going to go ahead and put these towers tied 1-1.
That was incredible. Like, man, Esmeralda got down so fast from being up top. She got down so quickly and made her presence known, and then zoomed right back up like nothing happened and took that tower. And that's what you see when you got that proper, perfect communication. And when so close.
Man,
so
CJ,
close.
a near hair away from being caught on that iron hook from Damien. I'm not even sure if he saw them or if he just like coincidentally was at the perfect place for that minion to get hooked instead of him. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at these items.
And we're looking at, I mean, so Wan on the cusp of popping off here, has the first item, secured a lot of secondary, just picked up Demon Hunter. Wan's probably going to be the key factor for Ackerman here, and I feel like that's where Damien has to make these plays to be able to stop the Sabzia.
Yeah, we do see. Oh, we have an iron hook, but Cold World using that heavy spin got him out of the way. So maybe a little bit of a misplay. The crossbow of Tang able to take down the second member right now. Oh, what? I don't even know what to say. Hook land by Damien, and then in comes Cold World, but Cold World uses that heavy spin, knocks Kush away from Damien and kind of upsets the flow of the balance there, which allowed Zia the time to get that crossbow of Tang and take out two members.
This is not looking good.
Yeah, we do see Blazer is going to get taken out.
Oh my
God. Oh my God. Down goes one, but a heavy spin is not going to be enough on. Oh, Lord T actually taking a pretty decent amount of damage, but is it going to be enough? What? Balls to turn around and still try to get some damage out.
I wanted a little bit more
of health left.
Just a little bit more I can do, just a little bit, and went right out. Like 305 T is not going down, not just yet. This allows them to go ahead and get that bottom turret. We see T taking top turret, possibly with the actual Lord going top as well. What do you think they can do to try to come back from this?
I mean, with the Lord barreling down like this, there's not too much. They're just gonna have to go into the normal, just like turtle up, you know. And look, we already see a concealed play, maybe by Gals to reposition. But again, we have the Lord, all the lanes being synced. Someone needs to shut down Zia.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you've got a big problem because you have Yato kind of covering that with the time journey. And we do see them kind of coming in. Phantom Execution does come in there. Heavy spin.
Oh, that was perfect.
Go by that time journey, so a very nice save. Here comes the real world manipulation. But look at all the damage being done right now. Deep into the lines as Lord Deep finally gets taken down by Promise. But right now, it did its effect. It did what he came there to do, which is kind of zone out the rest of the Simpsons, so to give Ackerman room to be able to take that inhibitor.
That was beautiful. That was actually, I would say that was worth the death when T was able to just to cut everybody off, and that allowed them to go ahead and clear. Even though he died, gave up a lot of gold, but they got that bottom turret now, which gives them that empowered minions, and this is going to allow them just more pressure to be applied to them, so they're going to have more to worry about. And it looks like this might be clear in the bag for Ackerman, and they just sitting here now, just waiting to make the first move.
Yeah, and another thing to point out too is Gal's cutie is just always like just utilizing the Cho to the best of the ability. Conceal play by Franco. I'm not. That conceal play was a little rough, and then a counter conceal play.
Ooh, what a nice slow buy Nate there to kind of reading out that conceal play there. Ooh, Cold World is going to go ahead and activate that heavy spin a little early, and now the team is going to have to disengage, and they know that they don't have that heavy spin right as soon as we are getting ready for this first Lord.
9 seconds on the Lord. All of Ackerman's ults are up besides Lance, CXJ. So we'll see what they can possibly do here. We do see the Dyrol trying to do a little bit of a side play, you know, take to kind of control that bot or that top lane. So I don't think they're going to be able to contest this Lord here. It's definitely going to be coming down to if Damien can catch the 1-1. But I feel like at the end of that, back to Yato is just not allowing anybody to get close.
Blazer looks like he might be getting caught here. Reverse guard, yeah. He's gonna throw the thumbs up before being taken to the Shadow Realm.
That's exactly what happened. You know, he gave the email. He already knew it was he couldn't get out of that. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And now with the Lord coming down, empowered minions on all lanes, all they can do is hope to turtle in and just be able to somehow withstand every lane being pushed right now. And do you all focus on getting the Lord, or do you not and just wait? It doesn't look like it, though.
Yeah, we see that the top two lanes are kind of pushed in right now. They're trying to deal with it as best they can. Another engagement coming in here. Heavy spin has been activated, but here comes the time journey engagement. And this is what I was talking about before. You don't just have to use Diggy on the defensive level. You can use it as an engagement, and they just came plowing through that first tower. Here comes the real world manipulation, but it's not going to be enough to save this base as they make short work of it. Game 2 continues the Ackerman sweep for the 3rd week in a row.
Wow, that was undeniable, unequivocal. Like, they dominated that match, and I don't know what you can say about what could have been done on the Simpsons side. They tried it. They had a game plan, and it unfolded once it started getting, once they had to start enacting it. We didn't see a lot of great hooks from Damien. We didn't see a lot of great concealed plays. There was some things that could have been done a little bit better, could have been communication or otherwise. But on the other hand, you had Ackerman firing off on all cylinders, Diggy going in. You had everybody playing like a well-smooth oiled machine. What do you think about that?
I mean, they were doing it. I mean, at the end of the day, it was kind of like they had a lot of CC, a lot of control on the side of Simpsons, and just pulling out that Diggy was amazing. I'm not sure if I hear Private like slow clapping back there, but I think I think he's like giving a slow clap to Ackerman's just constant sweeps and just controlling and just winning.
Like I said, my biggest thing is I was upset. I was sad. I was in a bit of a depression when Area 77 left us. But Ackerman has done a beautiful job of filling that void. Look at Zia here, 707. Once they were able to kind of, the moment he got that
demon hunter,
that demon hunter sword, like you were pointing out the items as soon as he got it, and then he just launched off there.
It was like a rocket. It took right off.
Yeah.
It was a power spray.
As this game, like a few misplays here, that one time Damien was able to land a beautiful hook onto Kush. Unfortunately, it seemed like a little bit of a cross communication as Cold World came in with that heavy spin, which took Kush right back out of the kill zone there and forced the rest of the Simpsons to kind of pull forward. What that did is it gave Ackerman a lot more time, and especially for that matchup of the Dairoth taking on Esmeralda. I feel like the early game definitely goes to the Dairoth, but as we start peeling into the mid to late game, Esmeralda is going to be able to clear faster. She's going to be moving faster, as we saw. She was able to cut lane, run to her team to pick off 2 members while they were on the retreat. So I mean, it's just these tiny little mistakes add up, and that's the name of the game when you come up here to like the higher level. Every single little mistake you make, a team like Ackerman's gonna let you know tenfold, because they're going to capitalize on it, just like what we saw in the first game, where Ackerman kind of got maybe a little lackadaisical, clambered up into that bush, got caught by a sanguine claws, and then Simpsons almost able to put in a win from there. And that's kind of, like I said, that's the name of the game out here, is those little mistakes and trying to make as little of them as possible.
Trying to make as little as them and not allowing the team to catch you making those mistakes, I feel like is like a tie and tie together, you know. Just don't make mistakes. If you do make a mistake, hopefully the team wasn't able to capitalize on that mistake.
Yeah, and you just learn from that mistake, and we saw that's what they did. Like I said, after that one play, they learned not to all group in one thing together. They learned to only send one person to check bushes. They learned how to rotate and go around, and you saw that even progress in the second game. They weren't making those same mistakes that they were doing in the first game. And it was just like Ackerman, their communication and their learning and their adaptive play style is like they're able to switch up between if they're changing up core items. You saw people, I noticed some items were being changed, like it was one thing, boots were being changed. Just those slight things where, okay, maybe I don't need this set of boots. Let me get the armor boost or something like that when you're towards the late game, where you have to do these micro plays on yourself to make it a better play for the whole team. And that's what Ackerman was doing on both games. And you can't deny that they're looking like to be the favorites out of everything going out right now.
Definitely. Well, with that concludes our night of the NASL. I'll kind of give you guys an overview of the guys that have stuck, or the fans that have stuck around to the very end. We had our first match. That was Team First Blood versus Ethereal. Team First Blood did come out on top and took game 1. Our second game was supposed to be Insomniacs versus the Valley, but Insomniacs had some team issues. The mage and tank wasn't there, so Insomniacs did unfortunately have to take a DQ, and then that gives the Valley a sweep. Game 3 was Simpsons versus Ackerman, which was supposed to be yesterday's game, but we again had some technical difficulties Saturday. So coming into next week, we're going to be live again Saturday, Sunday. There's going to be lots of good teams to play, and of course it's going to be a good weekend. So don't forget it. Make sure you got the subscribe and the notifications turned on, and our 2 wonderful casters as well as myself here. It's Private Dancer, Frisky. Definitely make sure to give them guys a follow on their social medias. You can find all of the links. I think there's like a 1 link for everybody in our description. And yeah, any last words?
Oh man, I just want to I want to thank those that have stayed. Honestly, thank you guys who waited with us during that basically 60-minute little break we had because of what happened. And I appreciate you guys, your dedication. You guys are the thriving blood force of this. You're staying here, you're watching, you're hyping up, you're discussing in the chat, you're putting your predictions down, things like that. You're liking, you're sharing. So thank you guys for holding on and sticking with us through here. And now we know it's getting down to the itty gritty. Now we know next week we're going to have some killer games, and it's going to be blasting off, and we're finally going to be able to see what you guys want to see too. And that's just great NA matches.
Yeah, the Squad League continues to kind of pave the way in North America, helping to kind of set the tone for more events that are going to be happening. And I'm really excited for what the future holds, not just for next week, because I'm excited for those. I mean, we've got some great teams. That's one of the wonderful things about NA is how flexible and how inflex everything is, whether it's teams, whether it's players. It's just the nature of the business, and there's always something new. Just because Team First Blood was able to go to the grand finals doesn't mean that somebody else won't be able to this season. And so we're gonna see how that all works out. But that's gonna be it for the night for us.
All right, until next time, chat. We'll see you next weekend. Always stay fresh out there. See you guys later.